Sea Stars. Hello and welcome back to the Legends series. Here comes the first match and map of the day between Playing Ducks and the Masse. Very excited to have you here for the second ever day of the 5th season of Legends series. We've been going for some time now. Let's get into this game. The warm-up is just underway. We've got 9 out of 10 people in, and of course, I'm joined by Scriv. How are you doing?
I'm really good. I'm ready to get into this. Happy to see Mirage. In all fairness, should be quite interesting to see whether on that T side they're able to pull out the effective executes, because there's a case to be made. I think Mirage is kind of a little bit even on both sides at the moment in the current meta of CS:GO. I'm not sure how you feel about that.
Yeah, I think it really depends just how good you are on each side of the map. I don't think that there's a very definitive, one-sided average. I think that we've seen Cloud9 really revolutionize the T side as of late, and teams like SK revolutionize the CT side in the last 6 or so months, or maybe even longer than that, in fact. Maybe over the last 2 years. If I could go back, I would.
Oh. Those were the days, as they say.
I'd go back to 2014, to mid-2014. Those were my favourite CS days. Where would you go back?
For me, probably summer of 2015. Cologne was sort of the first big event that I watched, and it's really what got me into esports. Wholly and completely, in all honesty.
We've got something big in common, because I went to that event live. I dragged my dad all the way to Cologne, because I'm quite young. I'm 19, so 15, I'd have been like 15, 16 years old. Back then, I dragged my dad all the way to Cologne to watch that event, and that's what got me into casting.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I went the next year as well. It was very fun.
It's the huge events, the sort of pomp and circumstance, as we would say in the UK, but that kind of pulls you into it, that really makes you interested in that kind of thing.
Now we've fallen in love with this. 9 out of 10 players in, or they were. Looks like we're going straight into the knife round. Let's hope so. Looks like that's not happening. That's fine. I feel like there's something wrong. They've all gone. They've all disappeared. Where have they gone, Harvey?
The last player joined and blew up the server.
That's fine. Either way, looks like we're going to have a very small intermission before we get into that game. Don't know quite what happened just there, but we will be back with the game in just a second. Gives us a couple of seconds to give a couple of final words. Now we know the map.
Yeah, Mirage, interesting. Really, really interesting, because it's something that I think both teams can have a good go on it, right? It's one of those maps that you can never say, oh, this one team has got all the strategy down, the other team is going to have no idea what's going on. If it was Nuke, there might be a case to be made for that, for sure. But yeah, in terms of Mirage, I think, like we've said, both sides, you can really have a good go on it. If you've done your homework, it can definitely be an even map. And you can pick up some rounds on both sides for sure, and make it a very competitive game of CS in the end.
Yeah, I think Mirage is a very interesting map. Got play for the AWPs on both sides. And if we have a look at that in the Masse graphic, you can see that Mirage was rated as their very best map. It's one that they've played before. Got a very high percentage on that CT side, where it's very acceptable and applicable to get out the double AWPs.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think Mirage is the map that kind of pioneered that idea of the double AWP setup being used across many maps, because you can play one on A definitively, but then you can have another towards window. You can go up short with it. You can go into B apps. You can get very aggressive with that second AWP, and there are lots and lots of memorable plays on Mirage, and the AWP kind of seem to go hand in hand over the course of Counter-Strike competitive CS, you know, that kind of
thing. And when you're talking about Mirage, when you're kind of analysing how well a team is going to perform on that specific map, it usually comes down to how's Yorpa, how's he feeling, what's his form, and to be honest, we don't really know too much about the Yorpas on either of these teams.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's a bit of an unknown entity for you and I as we get into it, and it will kind of unfold. But like you say, form is a huge part of it. If they're able to pull off some beautiful clutch rounds, some great initial kills, the Orpa can really start to run away with the game and just kind of hope that the rest of the team pulls their weight. But they will definitely be the carry if they're able to fire on all cylinders.
I think one team that's been pretty decent with the AWP of late is Esports. I think their double AWP setup with Oscar and Chris J obviously is just sensational and has made them one of the best Mirage teams on the planet. I'm not sure if many teams really want to be challenging Esports on Mirage right now. Obviously, neither of these teams are necessarily a Esports. However, definitely potential on this one. As you said, so many different angles of engagement, so many ways to pick it mid as well. There are 3 different angles that you can really get to that mid position, and it can really be a thorn in any team's side who really want to execute onto either or even both sides.
Yeah, and I think it's just as soon as you pull out a double AWP setup, right? We're talking about how important it is on that CT side. The Ts really have to be prepared for all different angles, especially because mid is so important to gain control of on Mirage. You need a smoke over towards window, one over towards short, one possibly towards connector, maybe some Molotovs in those areas as well. And then you also need to be aware of, underpass if anyone's going to get aggressive from B through there, and also your flank. There's so much to worry about in controlling such an important part of the map that just the threat of having the double AWP setup is going to cost so much utility for that T side.
Yeah, so just an update. We're just resetting the lobby right now. Remember, the Masse didn't quite join in time, and the server just went kaplunk and collapsed in on itself. So we've had to get a couple of men with spanners out to fix that server. But we'll be back in with Mirage in just a few moments without too much of a delay. But as we've said, we've got a good day of Counter-Strike up for you. If we show you the scorecard now, the table, today's match day, I can talk you through what's coming up over the next week or so. We've obviously got this match now. It's Playing Ducks versus Masse. They're on your screens. Then we've got Nexus versus Kopfsacker. If we look at what's coming up next Tuesday as well, that's Tuesday, 7 o'clock CET, right here on ELC Gaming TV. QB5 versus Venatora is a big opening game next week before we get tricked out. They're going to be playing Team Spirit. That's a really good play day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Those are some big teams, and it should be some really competitive CS. Obviously, QB Fire, everybody knows them from their run at the major. But you also have Tricked, who's sort of up and coming Danish side, and one to watch for sure.
Yeah, we haven't really seen too much of that new Trick side since a couple of the roster changes, a couple of moves as well. We've made a bunch of movies, a couple of opening videos about a bunch of these teams. They're on our social media, so make sure you go on to the Twitters, the Facebooks, and check them out. We'll be uploading them most days coming up now. I think we've got 6 up right now. Kopfsacker, if you want to go and find out who the hell they are. You can go on our Facebook and we explain who they are, where they came from, and a little player called Heats. He's been really rocking our company as of late. Looks like we've got 1,000 people in this chat, and they're all spamming in Russian, it seems. There are a lot of chickens in the chat. There's a lot of Russian dialect and scripture there, and there's some Namassiers with the purple stars, of course, the ELC Gaming purple. The ELC Gaming purple. That's what it's all about. That's exactly what we want. This shirt is like kind of purple. It's like a bluey purple. Yeah. It's acceptable.
You're doing well, representing the brand.
And
Good job.
Pat's Shays carried that name. I'm sorry. Oh no, it's Pat Shay CS. Put Sexy Jamie. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
you're sexy as well.
I've seen that. It's Pretty tasty.
Is he just spamming that? That's what I want.
I don't know.
If they wanna spam stuff about Squid or Jamie, I am fine with that. But most people right now are spamming for Masse.
I think that's fair enough. We talked about earlier how their their fan base will be out in droves, and indeed they are here to support the Russians to perhaps the victory. Who knows? Remains to be seen.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're wanting as well. I think we're wanting as much support for both these teams as possible. Obviously, Playing Ducks is a German team. We're a German company. Maybe expecting a little more from them. If you know any German people, you could ring them up right now and share this stream, because we'll be getting into the game right now. I've just been given an IP as well, so maybe we're getting into this server. Maybe we'll be starting some Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which is what
would be
call
nice,
it. Or as everybody here calls it, Counter-Strike Go. Oh, we are in.
Really?
By the looks of things. Yeah. Yeah, they call me Counter-Strike Go host, which...
Okay. Bit of a rhyme going on, bit of assonance. Yeah.
If that is what floats your boat, then that's fine. But we are in the game now, right into warm-up, and 9 people are in, and... Oh, there's a 10th as well, so we'll be getting into this one right now, the knife round.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I think this could be quite important as well to take this knife round, especially if you're more confident in your CT side on Mirage for either of these teams. So sometimes, teams tend to downplay the importance of the knife round, but I think here it can definitely sway the tide of this game very early on.
Yeah, and on Mirage, you said there's play on both sides as well. Maybe if we go onto a train or a nuke next, maybe the knife round might be even more influential. But Playing Ducks are going to take that first one. They're going to get to pick the side.
Indeed, I think would be a surprise. Yeah, so they go for the stay. I was going to say it would be a surprise if they went for the switch there. In all honesty. So it should be interesting to see what kind of T-side strategy comes out here. 5 armor being bought up for Masse, which is not really what you'd expect. Not any utility at all. And a lot of pressure towards middle as well.
Yeah, this is a really weird combination as well. You'd normally, with a lot of mid presence, you'd be wanting to see those nades. You'd want to see the smokes mainly, but they're going to charge out completely blind naked, and they're not going to get really spotted out. This is a contact play, and Zarin doesn't really know it's coming. They've been forced back. A lot of mid control taken. Zonka's going to pile on the pressure.
Yeah, Zarin playing a bit scared there, letting them get a hell of a lot more control. He also gets Goosh down to 4 HP, eventually finished off. So a 5-on-4 quite early on in the round here for the T side, but a bit of a recovery coming in from Playing Ducks as they pick up 2, bring it back into a 4-on-3. No kit on the CT side, so they really need to find these initial frags and just hold the man advantage.
Looking like the Russian team is loving this A site, and that Dink's going to accelerate the push. Q-Rush just looking from above is going to nail one. Remember, that's who everybody is chanting for. But this P2000 from behind is going to take a rattle of bullets all the way through. The P250 clutches in and closes in as Kirby takes 2. That's the round over. Playing Ducks on the board already.
Yeah, I think a case to be made. The good control eventually from Masse, but they didn't really bring that into fruition. They weren't able to capitalize on that mid control that they gained so very early on. And I mean, having a bit of utility definitely would have helped out there if they were able to just plant inside of a smoke. It really could have gone differently for them. Of course, full buy now from that CT side. Not very much utility, it has to be said, as they pulled out some very early M4s. But up against the weaker weaponry of the T side, you definitely expect them to get something done. A lot of nade damage and a bit of a dink coming in towards Palace as well as Masse boost up window. So interesting. They might be able to take down the player towards jungle, towards connector, if they're not careful on the CT side.
Yeah, Bloody Wolf's been bought a lot of space, and he lines them up. The CZ rips them apart. That's both gone. Zarin wants to chip in other side of the map onto towards short, but with a minute left, Masse have the man advantage.
They've got so much control at the moment as well, and I mean, the ultimate goal of this round, Bloody Wolf with another kill. The ultimate goal of this round is to get that bomb down, and they kind of have the full run of Mirage at the moment, split that CT defense. They are up against an M4 here on the B bomb site in the hands of Kirby, so really got to be careful in this case. But if they can just overwhelm him, take him down, he's not able to pick up anything so far. Bloody Wolf will, of course, get himself a 4th for the round, looking for the ace now, as it's just Zetrumiradog left in the 1-on-2 situation.
What a name. He's going to pick up 2, and he knows exactly where Bloody Wolf is, who needs an ace to finish this one off, and he doesn't manage it. Zetrum there. 1 versus 3. It felt like Masse just gave him too much to work with. The overpeaks were plenty, and Zetrum were able to take 1v1s, one after another, and a quad kill for Bloody Wolf doesn't pay off.
Yeah, they were really feeling it towards the end, maybe a little bit too much kind of confidence in a lot of the overpeaks that you mentioned. But I suppose the saving grace of that round, a lot of economic damage being done, got to force the CTs to keep buying up. Although saying that, they're all on some kind of a rifle in this round. But of course, getting that bomb down as well strengthens the economy of the Masse side.
Yeah, and you can see already 5 kills for Zetrum. Matching that is Bloody Wolf on that T side. They're going for the pistols, as you said. And they need openings once more. Those 2 sets of Kevlar gone already. Just Onka left with that CZ75. He's poised towards mid with the bomb down. He's only looking to do economical damage. There's nothing really more he can do at this point.
No, you wouldn't expect him to get too much done here. So a cleaner round this time from playing Ducks. They keep their economy a hell of a lot stronger. Don't lose any of these rifles. And the final kill will come in for Dominic there. So 3-0 on the board. They win the pistol, get those conversion rounds. And now looking to secure this first rifle round. And everybody's going to be fully bought up on both sides here. You know, the CT's not having to sacrifice anything as they're able to control their economy quite well going into this first gun round here.
All AK-47s out. We were talking about how important the AWP was, but nobody's elected to go for it early in this half. The Russian side going for a 1-3-1 split with assistance for overpass from Q-Rush. As that opening frag does come in. Minute 30 on the clock as well. Playing Ducks giving it away quite easily, quite readily, quite quickly.
Yeah, that mid control secured really, really well from the T side. A second kill going to come in for Bloody Wolf. Alanshire is able to get one, but immediately traded back. Still, though, it's a 4-on-2, and Flexi is on half HP. And he has that FAMAS in hand. Bloody Wolf is also over towards his B-bomb site, doing absolute work right now. Going to pretty much secure that one for his team as the bomb makes its way over there. And Flexi, I think, has got a decision to make whether he tries to go for this or just go for the save. But a decisive gun round here. Really, really well done from the Masse to secure that mid-control so early on and then just play off of the back of that. The beautiful lurk on B from Bloody Wolf pretty much secures him the round.
Albeit AK-47 and Kevlar is quite a lot to work with, but he's got all that utility as well. He's got the Molotov, nade, flashes. You want to keep that into the 5th round where your economy might be tightened slightly. You can see they're going to be on that 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 mark. Playing Ducks, just enough money for one buy. And Masse on the verge of maybe closing this economy out. Flexi goes a bit overzealous, gives away the AK-47. Drops it down, but no need to fear. They're able to take a buy in this 5th.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, no harm done, really, as they are able to still buy up on the CT side. But that one-tap potential of the AK for the CTs may well have been something that he should have considered there. The AWP finally coming out for Dominic. See whether he's able to get anything done. On the edge of the smoke, we'll find disbalance. As now it's into the 5-on-4 very, very quickly, and the CTs just need to keep a hold of this man advantage. Take this round very slowly, very passively, not get overzealous with their peaks and give any kills back to the T side.
That's a very matchmaking, puggy style play right there. And there's another one. Q-Rush diving out, darting through. Dominic's in with 2. It's both on the AWP. One towards mid, one towards connector. And Masse forced back through the rabbit hole to force back.
4 versus 3. Some reasonably low HP players on the CT side. So still a chance for the T side to get something done. They've actually got a player all the way on triple box in Kalashun. And he's going to find Zurtrum. as it will now pretty much secure that A bomb site. No utility remaining for the T side here, but another one tap comes in from Unke, and a second kill for Kalanshun, and Kirby only able to get one before going down. So Masse, they secure themselves a second round in the row, make sure to not get reset, and in turn reset the economy of the CT side.
I have absolutely no idea how Clash got there. As a CT defense, you want to be bolstered in a position where you're unable to let a player get that close, up close and personal. It didn't quite happen, and the Masse grab hold of the AWP, 4 sets of rifles as well, force back on these pistols. They've got all the utility to play with. This should be a no-go for playing Ducks here. Should be a 3-3 here.
Yeah, I think T-side doing well to still give them the respect. You know, not just going to straight up rush onto a bomb site, make sure that they play a bit more of a contact style play. Smart. Siren on short gets taken down. Beautiful little 180 from Blue Wolf to pick up 2. He's been firing on all cylinders so far this game for short. Bomb going to go down, and with only 1 player remaining now after that kill, it should, like you say, be an easy third on the board here for Masse.
Yeah, Bloody Wolf really does sweep them up there, and his kills are up to 11 so far. So Masse really banking on him performing. We were talking about maybe Onka being that anchor, but not quite showing up so far. It's still early days, so no need to really fear, but 11 kills, that's a great start.
Yeah, and I mean, the case as well, you know, Onka maybe doesn't have to show up, but still can, which again is kind of like a hidden potential that Masse have got. You know, maybe if Bloody Wolf starts getting shut out of the game, Onka will be able to come alive, especially now that he has got that AWP in hand. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a simple A execute coming in from the T side here, whether they follow through or play it as a fake. Looks like they will. Going to catch out Q Rush rather will catch out Zarian, getting a bit aggressive. Zertrum through the smoke gets taken down. Beautiful flash coming in, but unfortunately no kill for the CT side as Dominic left on really low HP here. A bomb site secured for the T side. Bomb going to go down momentarily, and it should, by the looks of things, be another round for Masse on the board.
A perfectly placed Molotov held Dominic out of the bomb site, just long enough for that bomb to slip in and get the bomb down. Flexi just holding up the attention as Dominic is sneaking, slipping his way round and through. The flash is perfect. That team play was phenomenal. Kalash is able to trade it out as well, but Flexi in a 1 versus 1. Bloody Wolf once again, this time, manages to convert the 1 versus 1. We're up to 3-4.
Yeah, like you say, some really good team play there. It was a beautiful flashbang to allow Dominic to get the kill on the player at Tetris, but unfortunately, just too many angles, too many players to have to deal with, and not enough utility and information to do so. So a really good fight, but not quite able to secure the round out. Again, a bit of a soft eco coming in, just a few upgraded pistols for the CT side here. So Masse looking to make it 5 and should quite easily be able to do so if they hold everything together. Dink comes in onto Bloody Wolf, but he still connects to spray. Onka caught with his knife out, but Kirby immediately traded back. So that should be the B bomb site. Ooh. I mean, it doesn't even matter, as Kalash just picks up 2 clean headshots towards Connector. He says, see you later, round's over.
And playing Ducks aren't even doing a lot of damage in these eco rounds, in the gun rounds either. You can see how much money Masse are building up at this point. Bloody Wolf on 13.4k. He's rolling in the cash. I'd balance as well. Kalash, both with loads of cash. Over towards mid now. The AK-47's Trum trying to get lucky through the smoke. Takes a tag, not a frag, backs off. And Masse just setting up this default.
Yeah, not quite working out so far for playing Ducks in these gun rounds. It does come a little bit close to the wire, but just not quite able to convert in those clutch situations. And of course, going to eat into their CT side economy. Zaren here in ladder room, gets one, trades immediately straight back. Kalash towards A has picked up a kill, but 2 come back in, especially with that double up setup that we were talking about and how dangerous that can be. It looks like for sure the CTs are capitalizing on that right now.
Q rush up close and personal as the Trump's going to walk into this one, waltz straight through, lose his face. There's Masse going for this rotate. The AWP battle Dominic versus Onka, who's going for this peek on through. The timing's perfect and Dominic does find one. Onka's now got the angle and the hip. As Dominic drops, the bomb's going to go down. Onka's got position, but Kirby's got the AWP. If he swings into this one, which he does, Kirby finds it. Loves up the scoreline. It's 5-4.
Yeah, all to play for right now. I mean, the scoreline, though, does look close, but you have to bear in mind, Playing Ducks secured 3 rounds off the back of the pistol. And it seems once the rifles have come into play, Masse so far have been very, very dominant with those in the past sort of 5-6 rounds, eventually putting a stop to it. Of course, this is the really important round now for Playing Ducks. They need to make sure that they don't get themselves reset, because that's really not a good position to be in. You know, their economy is going to get absolutely demolished if they lose this round, especially on that CT side where it's a little bit more expensive to keep pulling out a full buy with, you know, full M4s, kits and whatnot.
Honka's got the AWP once again, and if he spots a barrel, which doesn't even matter, Kirby is going to drop.
Yeah.
Mid
5 on 4,
looks like the target.
very early on.
Masse is actually assuming this split play on multiple occasions. Bloody Wolf gets caught out on this occasion. They like to go for this boost into window and then a collapse onto A or B site. But with the bomb back, looks like it's a different approach this time, as Kalash has snuck his way onto Tetris onto the A site.
Yeah, he's made it out a little bit into a safe spot. Tetris can be a little bit difficult once you get there to actually escape from. But very passive hold from the CTs now. It's 4 on 4. They've got one towards jungle, one towards CT, which are easily smokable areas. So kind of just banking on the fact that maybe the bomb will go down and they'll just play for that retake, try and deny the bomb plant perhaps in a decent enough position. Zertrum just going for the jump peak, will eventually get spotted out. He says, right, I'm not going to be doing that anymore then. As now he gets a bit more aggressive onto the site, not able to pick up a kill as Eye Disbalance will take him down. Good Molotov to kind of split the terrorists up there, but the bomb is going to go down momentarily. 4 on 3, kit in the hands of Flexi, but it will certainly be difficult for them to get back into this site with the limited utility that they've got in this case. Fight towards jungle goes the way of Q Rush. Onka as well gets himself a second kill for the round, and suddenly Dominic is on a 1 versus 4 situation.
He just slip his way in and find 2, but Disbalance is going to count him out of the round and put a 6th on the board. It felt like the Massier's defense was really good just then, having players absolutely everywhere. Q-Rush being a real pincer towards jungle, able to capitalize on anybody coming from that side of the map. The smokes are out already as they want to go for this mid presence once again. The Massier never faltering, it taking map control. And over towards B at this case.
I think losing that player on ramp as well is really going to play into the hands of the CTs, in all honesty, because now the T side's going to try and rush out, and Massier a little bit forced to go for this one, as there are actually 3 players over here, but Eye Disbalance from short, going to get the flanking, only gets 1 before getting traded back, but Q-Rush going to drop those 2 players on short very quickly indeed, and I think Zertrum here might just want to save this AK, a little bit risky perhaps for him to go for it. Flexi gets himself a second for the round, so definitely doing a fair amount of damage. There's only 2 players remaining. Zertrum does have a chance to do this, as Q-Rush is on 22 HP, but does not matter as he picks himself up a 4K for that round, secures it for his team, and wins out the clutch situation. So a 7th on the board now for Massier, really starting to run away with this one.
And Twitch chat is loving it. I've got it open on my second screen. They are spamming this Opus A to help Massier, and loads of different things, loads of different spams. They're really loving it right now. The purple hearts, the purple stars, they're really giving it their all. This is the Twitch chat equivalent of someone screaming in your face at LAN.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. Should be another safe round here. I mean, Flexi's doing work right now with the CZ. Kirby also able to get 1, but will get taken down. And I think
he's got the bomb at T-spawn and an AK-47 in hand. If he had won that Angel, that could have been quite big. Didn't quite happen.
Small mistake. Hopefully, Massier will iron out going forward, because that's really not what you want to happen. You don't want to be losing the round because of a silly little mistake like that.
AWP, 4 M4s. That's what the CT side has to work with. They've all got armor, but running a little light on the old nades. They've only got the 2 smokes, and Onka is maybe reading this as they just charge out onto A already. They're not going to check under, as Zetrom only takes the 1. Should have been more in that position with them being so lax on the checking the back angles. Onka's going to assume a reverse position to count out a flank, low on HP, but Masse stuck on this site are going to have to fend off 3.
All coming from Connector as well, so any kind of Molotovs and nades over towards that area are going to do great work for the T side. Molotov to flush out Kalash from Firebox, but the bomb is so far ticked right now. The pressure really starting to get to them. First kill comes in for Kirby. Zarin as well. Going to pick up 1, and Kirby will finish it off onto Onka. But they're not able to find the bomb, perhaps? Oh, no, okay. I was watching Dominic, and he was just running away. I was a bit confused there. But Zarin, of course, with the kit, will secure it out.
It felt like deja vu from the pistol round just there, with overpeaks galore from the Masse. All 3 players wanting to really take the Angels. Obviously, confidence is a good thing, but when you're in a 3 versus 3, especially on the A site, it takes quite a long process, meticulous checking of every single corner. You saw how easy it was for Zetrum just to hide away earlier in the defense. If the Masse had done a similar thing, assumed a crossfire, could have been doable, but with the lack of smokes, it didn't allow them to get into the afterplant positions. Anyway, had to take the Angels, didn't work out. Playing Ducks find their 5th.
Yeah, and in a situation like that, you don't expect all 3 of the CTs to be coming from the same position. T side now going to come up from Connector. A little bit of deja vu, but the other way around now in this round. 2 kills going away, make it 3 for the CT side. As Onka as well left on 10 HP. Does not bode so well, and that'll be a clean little round from Playing Ducks, holding down that A-bomb site so very well, as they're able finally to string together 2 rifle rounds, make sure not to get reset, and hopefully take this final round here as well, as their economy isn't looking too bad at all.
Felt like they had a pretty decent read of the situation right there. They collapsed in on Connector as soon as the Masse went towards that side of the map. The AKs were no fair for that pretty crushing defense. The AWP out for Dominic once again. He's been pretty decent with it. If we have a look at the scoreboard, he's right at the top with 12. And the Masse looked like this is going to be a standard B split. They've got to face Dominic, who gets 1, isn't able to turn around in time, as now they have to dispatch of Kirby, who's to their right, and Kalash is going to clash right onto his face. Zarin on this B bomb site is hidden away, and he finds a double spray down. Zarin still roaming from behind as the MP9 chips in and finds a frag. Just Q Rush left. The streamer, the beast from the east, is hidden away from behind, but he shoots a bit too early, loses his cool, and now Playing Ducks must know that he's coming. He's found quite quickly, and the scoreline's as close as it gets.
Yeah, really, really close. A little bit of a nice recovery towards the end there from Playing Ducks, but I think it has to be said, you take a look at that scoreboard here at the half-time. If they hadn't have won the pistol, it would have been a very, very different half indeed. So it shows kind of how important, perhaps an argument for a different day, you know, whether the pistol needs changing and how effective it can be. But at the moment, you know, the state of the game, they have to kind of deal with what they are given on that Namassier side. So this pistol here could really make a difference if Namassier are able to be so dominant with the rifles in this second half.
Onka looked to a fast pick and peek with the P2000, not able to do so, so it's the USP instead to find it. Looks like Zetrum's actually timed out, and they're calling for the pauses as well on this T side, but that pause came after the first kill, so I'm not sure if that's necessarily going to happen. And Playing Ducks don't look happy.
Difficult in that situation. They'll definitely get a pause, but it's a case of whether the round gets replayed, which generally, you know, the rule tends to be if damage is done, then no, but he is back. So it doesn't seem to have made too much of a difference. Onka, though, does not seem to care, as he will cleanly find the head of Kirby. Bringing it into a 5-on-3 now. They are smoked out of this bomb site from the CT position, but iDisbalance is still here on short, getting himself a third for the round, as he will drop that bomb, and that allows his teammates to get aggressive and finish it out. So they do get the pistol, and it does look pretty dangerous here for Playing Ducks. going into the early stages of the second half. But if it's going to be anything like the previous half, you know, rifles in hand, Masse were definitely the more dominant side.
So these players unhappy. Looks like we're going to have to get our fresh ELC Gaming admins out. The admin team getting out the rule book, deciding what happens. I think we all know that this game's probably just got to carry on at this point. Playing Ducks just have to suck that one up. And Masse, they've gone to the toilet. So we're in for a short pause here early in the second half. And the buy is going to be a force buy for Playing Ducks. A toilet break. Looks like his Clash gone. But rifles almost all round with the exception of Q Rush with that UMP.
Yeah, which in a way can be a little bit risky. You know, we saw Playing Ducks themselves almost fall victim to this kind of secondary force buy round that comes in. If you know you're not able to control yourself with the rifles and you give them away to players with armor, then they can really have a huge effect for their team. You know, in terms of killing other players, right? Because they've now got one of the stronger weapons in the game. But yeah, in terms of, you know, replaying the round and whatnot, bit of a shame. Not really much you can do about that on the side of Playing Ducks, as the rules are the rules. They are there to be kind of enforced and adhered to. And they were just a little bit too late on calling the pause, unfortunately.
Can see these pistols going for the trail towards B site with Disbalance and Clash over with the Mag 7 of all weapons and M4 as well. They've got to contend with Kirby, and that might force Disbalance off of this bomb site, only spotting the one. The headshots hit quite quick, and this push is very telegraphed, but they've got to charge into the Mag 7, which is doing work here. Clash with 2, that's a lot of money in his pocket. Disbalance is going to clear up the rest, and those pistols just got neutralized.
Yeah, that might just be a little bit of a tilting situation. I'm not quite sure who threw that flashbang, but it's supposed to go off the wall and through the window to flash whoever is kind of playing from short side of B, but it didn't, and in fact blinded 2 of the teammates on the Playing Ducks side. So hopefully, for their sake, they're able to kind of keep it together, because that could really be something that sort of is the final nail in the coffin, so to speak. Going for a bit of mid-aggression here. Wonka are only able to get 1, and Zertrum will actually take him down on 3 HP with the Glock. Disbalance is here to try and recover through the smoke. Does a hell of a lot of damage onto Zarin and finds Zertrum as well, who was on 3 HP, but still spicy stuff. Drops the bomb as well, and it's really looking difficult for the T side, especially now just Kirby all by himself, not able to connect with the head of Bloody Wolf in the end there.
I wonder if Tony could get a replay of that spray control. If we saw that without the smoke, that would have been classified as good spray control. If not, there was a smoke there. That's quite sensational stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Really, really good to see. So, bodes well. I think, you know, it goes without saying, Bloody Wolf has been playing incredibly well so far this game.
I've got to say, I think the admins made a phenomenal decision to take no mess in, just carry on the game, carry on the Counter-Strike, instead of going for any rollbacks or anything. There was no messing about right there.
Yeah, for sure. You kind of have to, for the integrity, you have to keep with that. You can't just do it on a case-by-case basis. There's one rule that applies to everyone. And like we said, they're not quite fast enough there, unfortunately. In this round as well, not really been fast enough at all. As Q Rush pretty much secures it there. Dominic now has made his way into ladder room. Does have the bomb in hand. But, Kalash is going to be a bit annoyed with that one. Maybe a chance here if he's able to isolate these 1 versus 1s. But they're aware of his positioning now. And as he drops down, Bloody Wolf is going to be ready for him. And he's been connecting his shots all game. And will pick up Dominic there. So Masse now with the 12th on the board. The economy of the T side really not looking too good. Meanwhile, the CTs... A couple of the players here, you know, Q-Rush and Bloody Wolf especially, are over that kind of 9k mark. Really, really looking good going into the latter stages of this game.
Yeah, that was a gun round as well. Masse dispatched of it very nicely, and now Playing Ducks want to go for a split with 2 towards this A site this time, running distraction once more. But this didn't really send the jitters to Masse last time they tried it. With just the 1 man over here, maybe the smoke in from Dominic is going to be enough. It's a split, in fact, as the B site is not going to be the final destination. Q Rush is here, it's the AKs, it's a slice and dice from Q Rush, who I'm not sure if he spotted that 3rd man, but he's going to find all 4.
Well, you talk about spray control. That is spray control and a half. He did very well there to kind of take down the player at long range. Luckily for him, slightly low HP there. I think it was on Flexi in that position, but up close and personal, he was also able to deal with himself very, very well. So looking really good here. A key round, I think, for the T side. They need to take this one to get their foot back in the door, get that economy rolling, and, well, Onka is ready for the on the edge of the smoke kind of rush coming in. Very early opening pick for the CT side now. Idis Balance getting aggressive in underpass as well. Oh, man, this is just so difficult for this T side when everyone's firing on all cylinders for the CTs. You know, they're just walking all over you. What can you do, really?
Not too much. It's Kirby, just with an AK-47 versus 5, and there's not much left. This one might be done.
Yeah, this round, like I said, is quite important as well. So it's difficult, I think. If they can't take this one, it'll be difficult to get back into the game for sure. Kirby does secure the 1st kill for his team. Tagged down to 50 HP. Doesn't have the bomb. Gets a 2nd. Flash goes in. That's about all the utility he's got. Actually blinds up Onka, but he will throw that grenade rather, and smoke out Kirby in the end. So 14-7 now, doubling the scoreline of their opponents, Namasie here, and they've got enough money to buy up for the next few rounds if they do end up losing some here. Backs firmly against the wall for Playing Ducks, and I think, you know, now there's a case to be made. Not only do you need to be winning rounds to formulate this comeback, you also need to be winning them decisively so that you can get your economy into a very strong position going forwards. Otherwise, you know, you're not going to have the ideal buy and all the utility available to you. So it's an added pressure here. Buddy Wolf getting a bit aggressive, all on his own. Peeking that dry gets taken down. So perhaps a little bit of an opportunity now for Playing Ducks.
Yeah, that was an absolutely hideous smoke as well that you could see right over. So obviously one that Namasie haven't put too many hours of practice into. And now the man disadvantage are going to charge into the B site. Kalash is here. Disbalance finds the 1st. They're both headshots. They're trying to make their way in with the bomb dropped. And Flex is going to find them both. There's Dominic as well for a 3rd. It's all down to Q Rush, who's been found out, slithered through with a tiny angle. He's got the kit, but not much time, not much health. And the smokes are placed as well. They know exactly where he is. They've got all the information. The AK-47s are poised to take his life. And they should be 8-7 with the bomb ticking down extremely low.
Yeah, for sure. I think they're just kind of looking to not lose any more players. Again, get that economy rolling going forward. Q-Rush, in the meantime, is he going to try and go for a ninja or
he's going to try
something?
And go for a ninja.
Oh.
And they're backing off as well. Q-Rush!
Oh, no.
He's not actually going to do this. He finds the 1st. Oh, he's not got enough time, but he does take one down in return. Q-Rush. This is why he's the streamer. He's the entertainer from Russia.
Yeah, keeping us on the edge of our seat there, I think, for sure. But still, you know, picking up that 1 kill, he can afford to die. As you can see, the double up setup coming out. Everybody else fully bought up with M4s. He can afford to lose his life there, but the T's, like I said, they want to be keeping at least 3 players alive in every round going forward if they want to get this comeback rolling. We've got to not get reset here, otherwise it's going to be very, very difficult indeed. You know, it'll secure the match point for Namasie and make it very, very hard for them on the Playing Ducks side to get back into it. Just playing it a bit passively, playing a bit of a default, as it looks like they're edging closer towards the A-bomb site. Some kind of execute coming in, perhaps, but at the moment it looks a bit more of a contact style. They're getting savvy to the fact that some of these CTs are getting a bit over-aggressive, especially towards ramp, and they're going to try and capitalize on that.
That was a quick peek pre-firing that angle, and the Masse have 3 players poised on this A site. Onka, Q-Rush, both coming in with 2. And Q-Rush just lining them up here. Now Kirby's been locked into position with this AWP. The smoke and flash are good enough to force him off the angle, but Kirby is able to fight his way out, but it's against the AWPs. Onka switches it out. Map point for Namasie here.
There's just AWPs everywhere on that Namasie side. You know, they can't leave themselves open to any angles, and it's just a misuse of the utility in the end. They smoke off CT. It wasn't a brilliant smoke, allows a player to jump up from toll booth quite easily and do a bit of damage. But jungle wasn't smoked.
Oh, that was a double knife.
Uh-oh. That's going to be the tilter for sure, as they're just quickly rushing towards B, it would seem. Got one player to deal with immediately, as they were actually putting a bit more pressure towards middle on the CT side.
So Clash is here hidden away. Tosses out this flashbang. Looks to want a second. It's Clash just watching and waiting with the AWP as the underpass push does come through. But Disbalance from behind throws a spanner in the works. He don't quite know where he is. He could be anywhere at this point. It's Bloody Wolf finding more and more with the M4. And it's just Kirby left. AK-47 1 versus 5. He's got plenty of time, but the bomb's nowhere to be found. And Q-Rush is lurking. Kirby's going to have to be very careful with this angle, and he's turned his back. There's a quick shot. That could be the opening here, but the AWPs are finding him. Namasie want to clutch and close down on him, crunch down on him from behind, and he's unable to find the follow-up flick. Is 16-8 is the scoreline. As Namasie, to the delight of most of our Twitch chat, is going to take that first map. Any closing words?
Yeah, a bit of a shame in the end there for Playing Ducks, honestly. They had a reasonably good CT side showing, but I think it was just a case of, you know, the rifles in hand. Namasie just seemed to outclass their opponents, both in terms of fragging potential, but also as a team in general, their coordination was a hell of a lot more on point. You know, we saw a lot of rounds where Kirby would pick up 1, 2, or 3 kills, but at the back end of a round, when he's already in a 1 versus 5 situation, which obviously is not the ideal place to be. So, yeah, the Russians there just looked a hell of a lot more prepared for Mirage.
Well, we're going to go to a quick break, but once again, don't go anywhere because we'll be back with the second map of this matchup.
CSGO Legend Series is back and revamped with a brand new system never before seen in competitive esports. ELC Gaming is unveiling a brand new unique point system which takes a wide range of win conditions into account. From rank of opponent played, strength on T and CT side, and variety of maps played will all influence points accumulated. Teams earn cash every time they play, with rewards given, win or lose. All matches will be broadcast twice per week, live from the ELC Hamburg studios, home of big betting. An all-exclusive, all-inclusive $25,000 prize pool Legends Cup awaits, where the 2 European champions will face off against a team from the US and a team from China. Join us March 6th for our first episode. This is where legends are born. Welcome to Legend Series. Go to elcgaming.com for more information.
Hi, we're ELC Gaming and we're looking forward to one of the greatest events we've ever had. The Ireland E-Stars will feature a tour with our esports truck, Big Betty, all the way through Ireland. We will start right here from our headquarters in Germany, where Big Betty will take 2 ferries to get to Ireland. The first from Rotterdam to Hull, then from Holyhead, which will take Betty directly to Dublin. From there, she will travel to 9 different locations in 9 weeks, where we'll visit the best football clubs in Ireland. But to do what exactly? To host one of the biggest League of Legends tournaments ever to be held in Ireland. Each of the 9 teams will be represented by 5 League of Legends players, and a 10th team will represent E-Star's head sponsor, 3. After 9 weeks of tough battle, the grand final will then find its winner live from the 3 Arena in Dublin. Check out our Facebook events or visit estars.pro for further information. This is 3 Ireland's E-Stars. Oh, hello and welcome back, everybody, to the Legends Series studio. I'm Squid CS. We just saw Mirage, which was taken by Masse against Playing Ducks. We're in for a close second map. Hopefully that's going to be on Cash, 2 of the maps that we actually highlighted. We being myself and my guest today, Scriv. How are you doing, Scriv? I'm
good, yeah. It was a really good first half of the first map, for sure. Very close CS, and then it seemed as the transition of Masse onto that CT side, they were just so together as a team, so able to just close the game out very, very quickly indeed in the end. But Cash, maybe not a map that hands itself so much to that CT side, so it will be interesting to see.
And if you're wondering whether you got time to go for your coffee, get your hot chocolate, or maybe a bit of time to follow us on Twitter or whatever, you've not, because 8 out of 10 people are in this server. So we're going to be getting into this match very, very shortly after a quick wrap-up of that. Obviously, we've got Cash coming up in just a few seconds. Cash and Mirage kind of go hand in hand. So how do you feel Playing Ducks might fare on this one?
Well, they seem to have a reasonably good CT side. Their pistols especially are quite strong, but where they fall flat is kind of on those anti-eco rounds. They lose a few too many players, not able to get the economy rolling, early on. So definitely something to pick up on, and Cash can be a map that hands itself, to a T-side B-rush, can definitely work out in the end. So it's difficult. I think Playing Ducks really need to work on kind of being a bit more coordinated, set up some more crossfires. But we also saw, on the flip side of things, their T side, they had players like Kirby and Zertrum, I think, were 2 names that did perform reasonably well, but still not quite up to par. But there's a chance they could carry on that T side if they really start to come alive.
Yeah, sure, and obviously Cash and Mirage, very, very similar in that you've got the play on that T side as well. And you've also got that clover system. You've got the mid that you can execute onto, the opportunity for AWPers as well. We saw that be a big deal for Masse. We talked about their CT side, and we kind of bigged it up earlier today, saying that their CT side has been famously quite solid. However, that proved to be the case earlier on Mirage.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting. Kind of remains to be seen. I think Cash is a bit of a different beast from Mirage, and there's a lot more potential to just walk all over your opponents on the T side at least. So I think it will become a bit more of a game of T sides rather than the CT side here. But still remains to be seen. It was something, the coordination factor I think was huge. Masse just seemed a hell of a lot more together as a team and playing with each other rather than playing for kind of like the solo game as they were on that Playing Duck side. Either way, it looks like we're getting into the knife round here, so not so much weighted on which side gets picked here.
So the knife round, that's coming up, and that's going to decide which side of the map both these teams will play, of course. If you're new, welcome to Legends Series. I'm Squid. We're just getting into this game right now, and obviously I think you're wanting that CT side here on Cash. I think that you're wanting that CT-sided start, just for the option to get out the AWPs.
Yeah, again, you know, a map that hands itself to that double up setup. You've got mid kind of A, there's a lot of potential where you can play from, whether you get aggressive into A main with the AWP. And B, of course, you know, is kind of a classic AWP side of the map. Masse starting on the CT side here, so bodes well for them. Although there is a case to be made, I think the T side pistol on Cash, especially towards A, is a hell of a lot easier to win out. So it depends on how Masse decide to deal with that. Smart play here from them, going for the retake on A, playing more players over towards B early on to kind of contend for a rush, see if there's anything that is going to happen. But it's a bit weird from playing Ducks, honestly. They're just sort of sat in useless room, not really doing anything at the moment.
Oh,
what?
Maybe jumping the gun just there. There's a tiny bit of damage is done. And playing Ducks look to want the B site, but now they're falling back. Masse with a good read of what was initially happening. Playing Ducks with an even better read and deciding to backtrack over towards A and towards Q Rush, who has that kit and smoke on the A site, but straight through Squeaky. It's a freebie for the Germans.
Yeah, they read into this, I think, on that CT side, though. You know, like I say, it's easy to gain control of the A site on the T side pistol, but the retake can definitely work out for the CTs if they come in full force. Like you mentioned, the kit and the smoke being put down towards A main now, definitely going to play into this one. Two players in Squeaky, both watching respective angles. Flexi going to pick up one, Dominic as well, trying to help out. Flexi getting himself a second 4-on-3 now for the CT side, closing the door. Not really going to do a hell of a lot, though, as the Squeaky players come bursting out. And that was really their round, especially Flexi with a 3K there. So playing Ducks gain control of that A bomb site, and Masse, unfortunately, cannot retake it.
Yeah, and there's the pistol round once again for playing Ducks. Didn't really work out on Mirage, but of course, we're here on another map. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. And Masse have got the CT-sided start this time, so they don't really dictate the pace any longer. It's all down to playing Ducks now, and this is a great start for them. Obviously, the map that we hyped them up on earlier on today, on Cash, a really good couple of wins for them. And this time they've got to face these Russian foes, and it's a 3 versus 5 with a weapon advantage.
They've got to keep this pressure on now and not allow kind of a flank to come in or anyone to be given the positioning. Deagle in the hands of Bloody Wolf almost takes down Kirby, and he's the man with the bomb. Trade from Q Rush to drop one of those AKs. You know, picking up kills here, really, really important. Kalash, not quite able to connect, will eventually find Zarin. A little bit more work than it perhaps should have taken. Again, will get traded back, though. Q Rush now is slightly hidden towards headshot. Ooh, I feel like he should have got the double there, but unfortunately not quite able to secure it quick enough onto Kirby. So a bit of economic damage being done by Masse. Not a bad round all in all, but playing Ducks, of course, taking that one. And it's not going to cost them a hell of a lot in the future.
And it's a 2-0 start. A bit of damage there, and it just shows that there are a couple of gaps in the playing Ducks attack. That's an angle that you should check the majority of the time. And they're given mid here through this A stack. It's Masse just holding down, waiting for this push to come in. They don't know that it's not coming. Maybe a kill onto Disbalance here might force our attention over towards Pointy Letter. But with them forced back and Masse going for this push, here they are going to find out one of these AK-47s, going for the boost up as well. This could be a thorn in playing Duck side.
Oh no, dropping that bomb as well. It's going to be difficult to retrieve that. It's 2 weapons dropped. Kalash, as you say, has got his hands on an AK now. We really need to start thinking smartly about this one. Zertrum going in by himself, perhaps not the way to do it, although he will pick up both the kills and shut me up for sure. So they're going to get their hands back on the bomb. A good little recovery here from playing Ducks, but far closer than it should have been, in all honesty. Almost costing them the round by dropping that bomb in mid-garage.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of these little mistakes made pretty systematically at this point. Playing Ducks doing the same sort of thing over and over again. This time it's netted them around, but I'm sure that next time when the Masse have the rifles in their hands, They can't afford to make mistakes like that. And Disbalance using this quite unconventional angle, one that we don't see all too often, one that Playing Ducks might not see all too often. But that Molotov is going to fall a little short. It's meant for sandbags, not for this corner that we don't often see. And Disbalance going to pop out and find one. There's a second as well. He's still got positional advantage, not a lot of health, but you can see Masse, they've collapsed in onto mid, and Playing Ducks are being forced out.
Kirby going to pick up 2 though to bring it back into almost even. Kalash now going to get himself a second from the vents position, so it's all on Zarin in the 1-on-3 situation. We'll drop Kalash, take no damage for his trouble. I'm not quite sure if the bomb is actually up on top of Boost there, or whether it's kind of dropped down in the corner of middle. I think it should be in that corner, as it does look like Zarin is able to retrieve it, so that's lucky for him, I suppose. Still got 2 to find, and the CTs are split here, so there's a case to be made for isolating these 1 versus 1s and able to find it. He's going to be able to get on to B relatively quickly. Quick switching a bit too fast there. But we'll get the smoke down. Zarin with a beautiful flick onto Bloody Wolf. And now the 1-on-1 left on 5 HP, so it does favour Q-Rush. But Zarin is definitely feeling it for this one after that shot.
Yeah, he needs to look to his right just here. Q-Rush might sneak his way in, but Zarin's got this head glitch angle. Q-Rush has no HE. This is going to be a straight-up Angel. And if Zarin can hit the headshot fast, this could be all over. He's hidden away. Q-Rush finds the angle. Lucky timing as the Masse do clutch forth their first round.
Yeah, really well done by Q-Rush to not kind of step there, give away his position too early. Really good recovery of the round there in the end. Zarin, still a case to be made. Beautiful stuff from him, but unfortunately just not quite able to win it out there in the end. Key round here for Masse, especially on his CT side. Don't want to be getting reset. Otherwise, Playing Ducks could definitely start running away with this half. So a very, very important round for the Russian side here.
Q-Rush looks to be sneaking up. It's a A-site attack for one player, that's Zertram, who's been pretty good at these opening picks on the T side. Q-Rush looked to have the angle pretty well lined up there, but the AK-47's not going to be able to reach its target, and Playing Ducks able to fall back. Their job here is just to force a bit of utility off of Masse. You want that CT side to have as little to work with when the push finally comes in, especially when the Russians have only taken 1 round. You know that the economy, the utility, it's going to be a little bit light. And as you can see, just 2 Molotovs and only 1 flashbang after those initial ones are tossed out.
Works out, though, as Bloody Wolf will take down Zarin towards Sunroom. Ornka as well, going to get 2 in middle. Loses a teammate in the process, but gets himself a 3rd before eventually traded back by Dominic. But he's done his damage for this round for sure. As now it's the 1-on-3, not even going to get the first, as Kalash will secure it. So Masse doing a great job to win that 2nd round, and now really starting to get this economy rolling. Looking good going forwards. A choice to be made for Playing Ducks, however, as they do have a bit of money to perhaps force up, but looks like they're going to go for the quasi-buy, as it were. A few upgraded pistols. 1 player, 2 players now with armor, but again, should be an easy 3rd on the board here for Masse.
There are the smokes down. Bloody Wolf getting up close and personal to this smoke as a nade out as well. That setup just then, thrown by Masse, is to circumnavigate a rush. They don't want Playing Ducks just charging onto one of these sites, especially with pistols and taking a freebie. And you can see Masse, they've got a pretty good defense on this B site. They've got the 2 rifles, and Unker is in with a quick rotate. They just have to hold out with Bloody Wolf as well, but Playing Ducks knows where both these members are, and the flash is perfect. Now they're going to charge in on Bloody Wolf. He does find 2, but Unker is going to charge through this smoke as well. With bomb down, it's all too easy for Masse as these pistols get sliced and diced. And it's Kirby with the deagle, able to find the single, but it's Disbalance with the double to finish it off.
Yeah, a bit of a shame they're not able to pick up any more kills on the Playing Ducks side. Bloody Wolf and Disbalance, 20 and 2 HP respectively. And a great flashbang to open things up. I think it was awesome, to be honest. Shame that they're only able to get 1 off of that, as Bloody Wolf was fully blinded up there as well. But again, a good recovery from Masse. It's that coordination thing that we talk about. The rotates come in at the perfect time. They work well together. Another off angle coming in from high disbalance here. Over towards mid. He's loving these as he gets Zertrum. Smoke going down as well. Make sure the Molotov not going to push him out of position. And I think he can actually play on top of that if he can get high enough. Unfortunately not able to do so, but still securing the first kill for the round. Making sure not to get traded. Kalash as well. Trigger discipline is in as he finds Siren towards B main. Kirby will drop disbalance eventually, but still in a 4-on-3, and it leaves him on 32 HP. So looking good for the Russian side to take this one. Flexi. Beautiful wallbang headshot there onto Onka. So the man advantage has been evened up, and that A-bomb site defense is significantly weakened now.
Yeah, they're not going for a re-rotate over either, with just Q-Rush here once again. He might be the point man over on the A site. You can see this split coming through in Clash. Oh, he has checkbox, but it's a soft check. He goes for the flick and hits it with the AWP. And now that forces Playing Duck straight out onto this A site. Flexi and Dominic need to charge in. That flash isn't going to do all too much. Q-Rush has been spotted out, trying to sneak and slither through the smoke. This Bloody Wolf flies a couple of nades on through, bullets as well to take down one, and there's his second, the round, Masse.
That man is absolutely incredible this evening, it has to be said. We talked about Onka and how he is kind of the danger man, but Bloody Wolf really coming alive, you know, carrying a lot of these rounds by himself, easily picking up kills and able to reposition himself so he doesn't get traded. Again, saving the round for his team there as they secure a 4th in a row. Again, you know, same as Mirage, they get the rifles in hands, and they just seem to be a little bit above when it comes down to the nitty-gritty moments in a round. They're just on top of things, and obviously able to take down Playing Ducks as a result of that.
Playing Ducks sneaking over towards the A site this time. Looks to be the first standard split they've went for in a while. With no mid control, they've got to go out right now. Quite an early round as well, but Masse looks to be able to crush this up. And Disbalance from above only finds one. This 3 versus 3 is taken control of. Anchor dispatched. Means this bomb can go down with plenty of time on the board as well. The Molotov doesn't land quick enough and doesn't stretch far enough. So Masse need to do it all with weapons. The rifles. Zarin, he's stuck between a rock and a hard place here. Needs to fight his way out. Might not happen. Oh, but it does. With the AK-47, it's a headshot. Dominic's able to finish off the final man to level up the scoreline yet again. Feels just like the start of Mirage.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So very back and forth here. But kind of the difference is Playing Ducks are now on the T side as opposed to being on that CT side. So if they're able to get rolling, and they had a relatively good CT side on Mirage as well, if they're able to get rolling here on the T side, it bodes well going into that second half. But I don't know, it was kind of a round where you just sort of forced to rush out. You're like, nothing's working, let's just go for a rush. Throw down the basic smokes, the basic flashbangs if we want, and then just rush straight out and try and overwhelm the players. But did really, really well in the post-plant positions. Their coordination seems to be getting there now. They're kind of getting a bit more trust in each other, a bit more confidence to sort of play off the back of each other rather than trying to force the issue with solo plays like they did on Mirage. So we'll see if they're able to keep it together, not get themselves reset. The CT economy is rather weak here, not very much utility at all for them. So it does bode well if they're able to use their own utility effectively to flush out those positions, get that bomb down, get some good post-plant positions going.
And you can see that the Masse are running out of money. They've got, what's that, $400 between them. Absolutely nothing to speak of. $450 between the 5 of them. So this is a must-win round unless they want to be forced towards the ecos. Disbalance is aggressive towards mid. He can't hear the footsteps as Playing Ducks has taken this one very slowly out in towards the A site. Anchor's here for 2. They're all headshots as well. As Playing Ducks, the AWP, it's forced inside and Anchor's up close. Dominic gets caught off guard, surprised. And Zarin, other side of the map, in towards CT spawn. How the hell did he get there? He's taking this flank and he's looking for two. Both headshots. Wants the ace here. He's trying to tap away and more, and he manages it. Zarin, that was insane. Onka's gone, and it's just two left. With 10 seconds, Kurush finds good timing, but God, was that close. And that low money that I was talking about from the Masse, that might play into their hands.
Yeah, so much damage being done, and I mean, if he had a bit more time on the board, I think Zarin might just have gotten that one done if he was able to check all the angles as he was going into the A bomb site. But of course, with about 10 seconds remaining in the end there, he had to kind of force himself out of position, and Kurush getting lucky, I suppose, that he was looking the other way. But bit of a soft eco coming in from this T side. Still, like you say, though, the pressure on that CT economy bodes well for the T side going into the next gun round. You know, they're not going to have too much utility, but Onka in that round just does everything for his team. Getting the 3K from Forklift shouldn't really be allowed to happen. He had no utility at all. He just stood there hitting heads. And, you know, someone, after that first kill, someone should have just stepped back and gone, right, let's flash him, let's Molotov him. We can get him out of position at the very least. And if not, you know, kind of capitalize on that and take him down. But no one does that. They all just kind of peek one by one, and it costs them the round in the end.
I was talking about lower money from Masse as well, but this is quite the contrary. Playing Ducks have nothing to play for, but the fake is perfect. Now Masse sold it hook, line, and sinker. Kirby's even going to find a frag as well. As he sees these in flashes, the combination's brutal. And the Masse need to go for another clutch. This is why this Russian powerhouse is so exciting. All the close rounds, but not always going their way. Flex has found out. They need to go in. The knife's out as well. I think he ran out of bullets on the CZ. And the Masse do head the lead.
Yeah, they're starting again to regain their lead 2 rounds above now. And, you know, again, drawing on Mirage, but similar to that, it looks like a close scoreline. But a lot of this comes off of Playing Ducks winning the pistol. And therefore getting sort of the 2 extra rounds that come with that. Rifles is a very different story in this matchup, as Masse are just so able to win out the clutch situations. You know, the T's are able to get the bomb down, but just not able to win the round in those post-plant positions. So much nade damage being done there. Bloody Wolf as well. Going to pick up one. Dominic through the smoke will trade him back at the very least. And now they've said, right, I think they're reading into this on the T side. The Masse have been very aggressive with their rotates. There are 3 players on this B bomb site right now, so early on, as they only really saw 1 or 2 players. Fortunately for the Playing Ducks side, they're not going to rush back towards A. They're not, obviously, do not have the information that we have. Not aware of the fact that there's actually no one really holding that A bomb site right now.
It's actually very lucky that Dominic found that frag with the AWP. Looked like Bloody Wolf was really going to stand there and spray all 30 bullets into the crowd of Playing Ducks, and they were very closely compact. You can see how much damage he did. 56 on Zarin, Dominic 44, just 100 HP between them. Between those 2 players, Etrum as well, down to 65. Bloody Wolf, despite only getting 1 kill, did so much damage. Did enough for 2 or 3. In a standard round. ADR is going to be feeling quite good.
Yeah, I was just about to say his stats. Yeah, for sure. Ooh, leg spotted out. Flick comes in. Dominic will take it down. And now it is all down to disbalance on this A-bomb site. In the default position, we'll drop Zertrum. Also finds the head of Zarin with a quick little flick. Dominic trades him back, but the rotates have come in, so it's a 1-on-2 now for the AWPer of the Playing Ducks side. And unfortunately, above that smoke, Kalash will spot him out, wins the round for the Masse. And yet again, puts that economy of the T side into dire straits.
Yeah, that was never going to happen for Dominic. He didn't have any time. He was being collapsed in from mid, from CT spawn as well. With an AWP, you can't twizzle that quickly. And the Masse look to be taking the lead once again. Oh, Zetrum just got tagged up by Onka there, straight through the wall. And there's the assist, another from Onka, doing a bunch of damage. And Playing Ducks don't have a lot to play for in this round.
Yeah, you wouldn't really expect them to get too much done, in fairness, with nothing but some upgraded pistols. But still, that wall bang is going to be salt in the wound for sure for Zertrum, as this T side are just, again, looking a little bit lost. You know, they have some good rounds here and there. They have some good initial starts to the rounds, but then when they have that man advantage, they are so likely to throw it away. You know, once they get the bomb down, someone gets a bit aggressive with a peek and just goes down immediately, allows the CTs to gain the control that they need to retake the bomb site. It's difficult. I think there needs to be a guiding voice on this playing side. Just tell the players not to peek, not to get aggressive once they get that bomb down. Of course, final 3 players will go down very, very quickly indeed. An 8th on the board for Masse now as we get into round number 13. And this is really looking like their half. You did say earlier it was looking close, but of course the caster's curse now. Yeah. Completely ruined.
16-8. Playing Ducks. Right after you say that. That's a 5 AK-47 setup. They don't have this APP, but Onka does. Flexi drops. And there's another for Onka. He's been an absolute god in mid. Disbalances his off angle once again. That was round 7, round 3, round 13. He's doing it every 5 rounds or so to throw Playing Ducks through the loop. And with this combination with Onka to find 3 frags, he is going absolutely wild. This mid combination seems perfect, and you can see they're slowly digging this grave. Earlier, it was just the Masse closely taking rounds, doing pretty decent, but at this point, they're gaining the bank. You can see everybody with $6,500 are going to be able to buy up for the rest of this half, most certainly, and Playing Ducks stuck in a ditch with 3 CZs.
Yeah. It's difficult, like you say, they're just digging themselves a hole at this point, force buying themselves into oblivion, and just not able to kind of even knock on the door, let alone get inside with that metaphor. And that's another nail in the coffin as the dink comes down onto disbalance, but of course he finds Dominic there. Onka with this AWP has been absolutely huge, missing a flick there, but pulls out the 5-7, will be able to find Flexi as he'd run out of ammo. Zarin will manage to trade him back, so it is into a 2-on-2 now, but that Molotov going to melt Zarin down onto 26 HP. It's also been a very quick flank coming in from Kalash here, as he finds Zarin, aware that Kirby is playing towards Squeaky, who gets blinded up, not able to connect the spray, unfortunately. The Molotov goes in, forces him out, and Kalash will secure the round as the bomb's going to get defused there. So 10-4. I mean, it could quite easily become 11-4 for Namasia here.
Yeah, the nades were too perfect on that retake. Every nade was so calculated and so precise on the site. A pair of Molotovs to find a pair of frags. The man through door and the second on site. It's Playing Ducks getting outplayed right now in the first half of the second map. They've got 5 AK-47s as an AWP as well, but Dominic's got to go quite big over towards mid, and it's Onka. What a fast flick right there onto Zarin, who had that angle on lockdown, but Onka doesn't care. He's just rushing into this one. No respect, and they're peeking one by one. There's backup as well from Clash. This is all said and done. There's the bomb. There's the half. This is all over, unless Zetrum's got... Unless he's going to do something absolutely massive, and that's not going to happen at all. Hamassier have been just another step above this map.
Yeah, for sure. And Onka especially, you see in that round, just kind of summing the half up, how effective he's been with that AWP all over the map. They don't need the double AWP setup because he's somewhere else every single round, able to find kills every single round as well. And Playing Ducks' mental fortitude at this point is going to be in absolute tatters, losing that first map in quite decisive fashion, especially on the second half, and now getting absolutely ripped apart by the AWP, by those kind of clutch situations as well, just not able to win it out. Pistol here of the second half getting started.
Another no-nade mid-rush from the Massier as well.
Yeah, for sure. This balance will find Flexi. Dominic left on low HP. Does get a clean headshot onto Q-Rush, but 4-on-4 as the bomb will very quickly go down here. And they're able to get themselves into some pretty decent post-plant positions on that T side.
I have to say, Namassier haven't been too good at these pistol rounds, but might end up taking this one. The USPs are trailing the way in, but the Glocks in close range are just too good. It's disbalanced with 3, now 4 on the A site to clutch out their 12th round. And I think it might be night-night for the Germans.
Yeah. Looking at it, it's just getting more and more difficult. We like to build up the storyline and give them a bit of hope, but they're just getting absolutely ripped apart here. You know, there's not one thing that needs to change. There are so many things that need to change here for the CT side, enable to enable them to get back into this. Whoa, that was almost the lineup. Zarin will actually find one before Onka trades him back. The bomb is kind of dropped down in the open here. Someone needs to get on that, but the superior weaponry of this T side, you would expect them to take this one. 4 versus 2. Honker and Bloody Wolf are on rather low HP. However, the teammates on pretty much full HP are doing a very good job of holding down the fort. Flank coming in from Plexi. It has been massive with the CZ across this series, but not quite this good to get a 1 versus 4 situation. No one's watching for him, however, at this point, but it looks like he's just trying to go for the exits rather than try and go for the win in this round.
Yeah, he's not got any kit either, so it's going to be impossible to go for anything actually worthwhile as Disbalance takes his face off. 13-4 now, and Playing Ducks have to mount a 1-by-1 round comeback. Just take 1 by 1 at a time. Maybe shut an Masse down at some point during this map. But this might be a very quick series. Not really what we were expecting as well. We were expecting this one to maybe be the closer one, and then the next map to be more of a one-sided affair with, obviously, Kopsaka coming up next. First ever inaugural appearance here at the Legend Series.
Yeah, I mean, that should hopefully be a bit more competitive than this. It kind of remains to be seen. Of course, like you say, the inaugural season for the German side in our second series of the evening. But we expected Cash to be a hell of a lot closer in this matchup, as, again, just an easy clean-up round, playing these anti-eco rounds so very cleanly as they do on that Masse side. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame, really. I think Playing Ducks just need to work on their rifle play, on their kind of coordination with each other. They have the fragging potential,
strike,
but well, I mean, but no, they definitely have. They have the fragging potential there. They've got some players who have hit some nice shots, but
rifle play.
But, you know, yeah, I suppose so.
I hear some
B-Rush coming out.
It's Disbalance once again. He's going to pick up 3, and he makes it look too easy. Plexi and Dominic with a fast rotate. M4, AWP, the combination on towards B site, but the bomb's already here and they've got no nades to neutralize. Apart from that smoke, but that's not really going to do all too much damage, and that's what they need right now with this M4. And it looks like he's just wanting to go for this ninja. Going to tap the bomb, but it's got to be the full 10 seconds. Dominic has to support. It's not going to quite happen, but Dominic's not getting any kit. He has got the time.
He doesn't.
Oh no, this could be close.
I think he's.
He's got it. He's got it. Yeah. I just heard double up here. I heard the bomb twice.
Oh, I see.
Ringing around in my head.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But yes.
Some call it schizophrenia.
Finally. Whoa. Calm down. You're all right. You're all right.
I'm okay.
I'm here.
Glass of water.
They finally managed to get one on the board, but it's a case of now, you know, securing these, I suppose, next 10, 11 rounds, really, if they want to make the comeback cleanly, to make sure that they're not going to be losing too many players. And of course, on that CT side as well, it's even more important. First kill comes out for Dominic, so that does bode well. A fair amount of damage being done onto Bloody Wolf and Q-Rushes. Also, so not looking too bad for the CT side here. They need to find these initial frags. They've got 2 flashbangs, now make it 1 on the entire team. So no utility at all, really. They just need to be hitting their shots.
And their defense looks really, really weak on the A site as well. They've not got anybody there. They're playing a really passive defense. If Masse had a position to throw these 2 smokes, that would count them out completely. And there's one, but they need a second one to get onto this bomb site. And Masse not really taking the initiative in that situation. They had a big gap to take that site right there, but didn't quite go for it.
Yeah, well, of course, you know, the benefit of of what we can see. Opting to go a bit more mid-pressure coming in. Like I say, there's some fairly low HP players here. They just sort of want to split this defense. It's actually going to work out as Bloody Wolf will find Dominic. There's also a couple of players who've made their way back towards the B site on the CT side. Q-Rush, however, is going to drop that bomb. So that's certainly looking good. Flexi also finds a player towards A main. And suddenly the round's over as Zarin and Kirby chime in. So, not a bad round, to be fair, on the sort of, avoiding the reset situation for playing Ducks. There's still a fair amount of money on the T side to pull out a pretty decent buy going forwards. But that CT side starting to look good, but it kind of begs the question, where has this been all game?
That's a decent nade. Didn't really do all too much damage. Could have been a couple of pixels lower. Maybe we would have done a lot more. One of those inconsistent factors of CSGO. And the Masse look to want this B site once again. They've been going for this sector of the map quite consistently. Trump does find that first. Might be forced back here, but that flash is perfect and allows him a bit of distance out. And the Masse might want to fall back.
Yeah, they kind of need to recover their bearings at the moment. Looking a little bit beaten in a lot of these fights, getting picked off one by one by the CT side. They're looking a hell of a lot more clean at the moment. It's all just on Onker in the 1 versus 5 situation. And playing Ducks have had a good few rounds here, cleanly able to pick up quite a few kills, secure their shots, play well off of each other. So not looking too bad, and perhaps a chance for them to get their foot back in the door. Onker looks like he is going to try and go for the search room, though, in a bit of an off angle. We'll spot him out and an easy kill in the end. So 14-7 now as playing Ducks definitely got a chance. It looks like Masse are going to have to be on the sort of eco situation, the soft eco, the quasi-buy, the many different names that it has. But ultimately should be an 8th round on the board for playing Ducks here.
Masse is dwarfing the CT scoreline as well. 14-7, it's such a long way back. And with the pistols, might not happen right now, but Masse are going to have plenty of chances before this game's all said and done. And Q-Rush might open this one up on towards the A side. And there's another headshot. This time Bloody Wolf once again. He's been such a shooting star for the whole series, but that was quite one bullet. This is going to still, regardless, nevertheless, be a difficult retake as playing Ducks. They're running out of nades. They've just got one smoke left. Treble flash as they want to go for this assault onto the A site.
Kalash going to pick up Kirby and also gets his hands on an AK, which allows him to get another one. Bloody Wolf with another clean headshot there at the end of the round. And well, what a round to be winning. Masse finally get their match point up and running. They've got 8 rounds to secure this one, but that is certainly not a round you want to be losing on the playing Duck side. And the mental kind of game coming into this, you lose a round against pistols, you'd be like, should not have lost that, and now they're going to be broken if they're not able to keep it together. And it also really damages them. Wall bang coming in from Onker on that AWP. Zarin will go down to disbalance his AK. Returns a fair amount of damage in fairness, but of course, the ideal situation, he would be picking up the kill there. But look at Flex, he's got chest armor and 2K. Does actually get a kill with it.
That's unbelievable. This game might not be over just yet, as Kirby does sweep on towards mid as well, looking to do something, and he lines them up, unbeknownst to him. And Bloody Wolf in a 1 versus 3. First time in a while we've seen Masse behind. But he's going to go onto the A site, needs to check to his direct left. Coming into Zatrum, and it doesn't look like he's going to do it. It's not going to happen. Zatrum able to pick up the AK-47, treble AK-47. I beg your pardon, switched out to the AWP at the last second for playing Ducks, but they've got to rack up 7 in a row.
Yeah, still a huge ask, you know, and a good round for them. But, of course, winning the round that they did on the Masse side off the back of a very weak buy, they actually have more money in the bank than you would expect. Dominic getting aggressive with that AWP, however, will drop one of those AKs. Got Kalash to deal with very soon indeed. There are actually 3 over towards his B bomb site, so he gets caught out trying to make a solo play. Again, perhaps letting that overconfidence play into things. CZ does a fair amount of damage onto Flexi. It's still a 5 versus 3 situation for the CTs and very little map control indeed for the terrorist side.
3 versus 5 now, sweeping over towards the A site once again, this time towards Zetro, who's now gone. It's Flexi to pick up the pieces with the AK-47. Pick up the pieces he does! Right through the smoke onto Onka. And it's Bloody Wolf 40 in 8 HP. Flexi goes up in a heat of flames, and it's Masse. Actually, this gap being closed up now by the Germans as they're just 6 away. And this one feels a little more doable, a little more reachable, a little more attainable.
Can't count them out, though. Say they're not going to win with the pistols, but they, seem to be able to do so every now and then on that terrorist side for the Russians. So CTs can't get complacent here. They've still got to give that respect, still make sure that they secure this round cleanly. Going to be a pretty straight-up B rush. Kirby finds the head of Kalash very early on, also able to get a second. A great crossfire here from the terrorist side. Zarin loving those eco frags as he picks up 3. And they hold down that B-bomb site so very well. The perfect round, in all honesty, from Playing Ducks is now another key round for both teams. Obviously, Playing Ducks can't lose this one. But Masse do need to kind of start thinking about closing this game out because their economy is very much ropey at this point. There's not a lot of money in the bank. Loss bonus will start stacking up for sure, but still they need to start, at least getting a few kills there. Oh, and Dominic is doing exactly what Onka was doing, running around the map with that AWP, being a nuisance, being in spots where you don't expect him, and he is connecting his shots, getting that initial frag pretty much every round here for Playing Ducks on this comeback, and it really makes the job a hell of a lot easier for the German side.
And it's the AWP once again on the CT side, as you said, Onka earlier. This time Dominic, who, albeit, was pretty good on the T side as well. Trum peeking out again. Feels like he's been giving away a lot of these opening frags. Mid taken by Masse. Has to be kind of navigated by Kirby here. He has an M4 of his own. Lots of damage being dealt so far. Flexi still on this head glitch angle, but he's going to get his head ripped clean off. Dominic again with the AWP. Stuck at the back of this site. Wants to swing and slip for another frag, and he finds it. A headshot with the AWP. His disbalance wants a piece of this A site. He's got an AK-47 to do it with. And he wants maybe one of these opening angles. Dominic, is he going to go for this peak anytime soon? A perfect flash forces disbalance back, but with 30 seconds left, bomb on back. Doesn't feel like enough time, perhaps. Wants a bit of B.
Yeah, he's going to have to hightail it over there. Actually, going closer towards... Okay, he's going to go through the vents. Perhaps? Yeah, okay. He's going to go through the vents. Goes for the more kind of safer take, especially because he knows he's going to be a player over towards CT. Finds Zarin. Going to be able to get this bomb down here as well. Not very much time remaining to do so, but all the same, he will secure it. And now in the 1 versus 2, finds the head of Kirby as well. 1-on-1 up against Dominic, who's on half HP with this AWP. Cannot afford to miss a shot here, and Disbalance will take it. 16-10, the 1 versus 3 clutch for him in the end. And what a final round there.
Wow, wow, wow. The 1-on-3 clutch, the lightning fast start from Masse, and just everything going their way from start to finish. They take a 2-0 in this series, and they will find themselves 2-0 up on our scoreboard when that gets updated later tonight. So make sure to check us out on all the social medias, all the good stuff, where we will be posting Namasie's legend points, Playing Ducks playing legend points as well over the coming days. Make sure to see a bit of that. But for the time being, we're going to go to a quick break, but once again, don't go anywhere because we'll be right back in the next few minutes for Nexus versus Kopfsacker. We'll have a it's like a Hi, we're ELC Gaming and we're looking forward to one of the greatest events we've ever had. The Ireland E-Stars will feature a tour with our esports truck, Big Betty, all the way through Ireland. We will start right here from our headquarters in Germany, where Big Betty will take 2 ferries to get to Ireland. The first from Rotterdam to Hull, then from Holyhead, which will take Betty directly to Dublin. From there, she will travel to 9 different locations in 9 weeks, where we'll visit the best football clubs in Ireland. But to do what exactly? To host one of the biggest League of Legends tournaments ever to be held in Ireland. Each of the 9 teams will be represented by 5 League of Legends players, and a 10th team will represent E-Star's head sponsor, 3. After 9 weeks of tough battle, the grand final will then find its winner live from the 3 Arena in Dublin. Check out our Facebook events or visit estars.pro for further information. This is 3 Ireland's E-Stars.
CSGO Legends Series is back and revamped with a brand new system never before seen in competitive esports. ELC Gaming is unveiling a brand new unique point system which takes a wide range of win conditions into account. From rank of opponent played, strength on T and CT side, and variety of maps played will all influence points accumulated. Teams earn cash every time they play, with rewards given, win or lose. All matches will be broadcast twice per week, live from the ELC Hamburg studios, home of Big Betty. An all-exclusive, all-inclusive $25,000 prize pool Legends Cup awaits, where the 2 European champions will face off against a team from the US and a team from China. Join us March 6th for our first episode. This is where legends are born. Welcome to Legend Series. Go to elcgaming.com for more information.
Hi, we're ELC Gaming and we're looking forward to one of the greatest events we've ever had. The Ireland E-Stars will feature a tour with our esports truck, Big Betty, all the way through Ireland. We will start right here from our headquarters in Germany, where Big Betty will take 2 ferries to get to Ireland. The first from Rotterdam to Hull, then from Holyhead, which will take Betty directly to Dublin. From there, she will travel to 9 different locations in 9 weeks, where we'll visit the best football clubs in Ireland. But to do what exactly? To host one of the biggest League of Legends tournaments ever to be held in Ireland. Each of the 9 teams will be represented by 5 League of Legends players, and a 10th team will represent E-Star's head sponsor, 3. After 9 weeks of tough battle, the grand final will then find its winner live from the 3 Arena in Dublin. Check out our Facebook events or visit estars.pro for further information. This is 3 Ireland's E-Stars. Hello, and welcome back, everybody, to Legend Series. I'm Squid CS, once again joined by Scrivcasts. We're live in the second series of the day between Nexus and Kopfsacker. They've just engaged in the 9th round on another cheeky bit of cash. Nexus just took that one, and we'll be going live into the pistol round in just a few seconds. Scriv, you've not got long. Give me a quick prediction.
I think this one should go the way of Nexus. They're one of the more formidable opponents in this tournament for sure. And Kopfsacker, nobody really knows how good they're going to be at this point, as they are a bit of an unknown entity.
Yeah, much of a wild horse, a bit of a dark horse as well. Maybe that's what I was looking for, wild card, dark horse, mixing the two. Right there. But it's another bit of cash.
Yeah, it should be interesting to say the least. A similar pistol to what we saw in the previous game. A bit of B aggression from the CT side, playing very passively on this A bomb site. However, the question still remains, will they be able to retake it? Flank comes in, the one not able to connect any headshots there, unfortunately. Stepper now as well, trying to play up close and personal. Will connect a bullet with the first player. And now it's going to be more difficult for this CT side to get back in. BTN will find Broms at Forklift. Jaxie's got the kit in hand as well, so time not really an issue here, but there's sort of 2 isolated fights, one in A main and one out on the side. There are 3 Ts over towards A main. BTN going absolutely huge right now. Will drop 2, but Steffer has done the same, and the bomb too far gone at this point. Zello does have that kit in hand, but not able to find the kill, and Steffer with a 4th for the round. Absolutely incredible stuff from him, and a really good opening round for Kopfsacker.
That was so well played by Kopfsacker. They did get smoked off, and their after plants were a little bit dicey, but they didn't lose their cool. They didn't all jump into that bomb site and give up to the more formidable opponents of Nexus. They were unable to take that pistol round, but we saw how little a pistol round sometimes means, as in the previous series, Masse lost 3 out of 4 pistol rounds and still managed to take the series pretty convincingly as well. There's BTN with an opening kill, 5 versus 4.
Yeah, he's got his hands on that UMP. He sort of got a couple of kills in the previous round, so he's able to get that slightly stronger weaponry. Even if they do end up losing around here, it's an extra $600 per kill in his pocket, so he'll be happy with that one. Cello and he, however, have been tagged down slightly, so still kind of give it to the AKs in this situation on that T side. They're playing into 3 players on this A bomb site. They've really got to find these early frags, otherwise they're going to get sort of overwhelmed by the amount of players that are going to be peeking them at once. All the players coming from A main as well on this T side. Deagle in the hands of Zello, not quite able to find anything yet. Jackson trying to strike. His teammates, however, have fallen down on the rest of the bomb site. That's going to allow the bomb to go down through the smoke. Witterkind will find 1, and now into the 2-on-3 situation. UMP retrieved by the 1. He will also drop an AK, so kit in hand as well. There is definitely a chance to do this. He knows there's going to be players over towards quad. It still remains to be seen whether they'll be aware of both the T-side players at quad here. The Eagle shots come in. Imi finds both, and that'll be the round going the way of Nexus. Kit in hand for the 1, so they'll be able to secure it. And the AKs should be retrieved if they're able to find that second one. Perhaps. I don't think so. That's a bit unfortunate. But either way, they take the round, get that force buy round in the bag. And that's kind of you know, a little bit of the danger of this Nexus side. They have the skill level, the coordination, the experience, all those good things, and they are able to take these rounds even when you don't expect them to.
Nasty hand cannon work by IM there. Back of the A site in the retake, very crucial, very clutch. It's now Kopsacker on the back foot with the pistols. They've got their avatars nicely all coloured up. I like the coordination.
Yeah.
All teamwork before they even get into the server. And they're against the rifles this time, so they're going to need a little more than teamwork to take this one. Minute 20 on the board, so they've got plenty of time in the bomb. Look to want to go towards mid as well. They send it out pretty handlessly. That's the word that I'm looking for. And it's Jaxi forced back off mid. Nexus aren't over-peaking this one, but Zelo's going to find headshots anyway. Straight through the corner of the box, doming Stipe. And that's maybe a kill, possibly a round gone as I am. They're not going to check in. Big spray down through. Support there as well. Is Rome last alive? He's going to have to roam into this B site with a Deagle no armor. Go IM style again, but I can't see that happening as the clock's ticking down. He's all out of the action as well. Nexus have a great defense to bolster down on this one, and the one's going to find that final frag.
Good clean round. Don't lose any players. Keep their economy nice and strong into these latter rounds. Of course, with getting the bomb down in that pistol and pretty much going for a full eco, Kopsacker are going to be able to pull out the AKs here. So a little bit unconventional in terms of what round means what kind of situation. As you know, we're in round 4 and it seems to be the first official gun round. And there's, you know, rounds gone the way of both sides, but either way, AKs for that T side. They've got a fair amount of utility as well. It's going to be a classic execute onto Cash. You don't see that onto the A bomb site. You don't see that very often on Cash, in all honesty. Knife coming in.
The knives.
He's does 30 damage onto Roms. Not good stuff.
So that seemed very Puggy style. That seemed very matchmaking right there. Just throwing the nade straight into the A site, going straight into B. They might be able to get a bomb down off the back of it, though, as IM's only able to take one frag, and Stipe's in the back of this site with the bomb. Tapping in the numbers, has the AK-47 in hand, and an AK-47 on the lookout as Nexus are really locked out of the action, and they haven't got all too many nades to work with. They've got the flashes, and it's going to be Zelo in first, but flashes aren't going to find kills. They need the headshots, and Zelo might be the crucial man in this one. Retake style, there's his first. Didn't take too much damage in that engagement either as he charges down, launches himself into the battleground, and Jaxi BTN's going to clean it up. Seemed all too easy for Nexus there.
Strong retake, doing really well on that one. Again, the coordination thing that we talk about, they've been together, especially that core 3, BTN, Zelo and Jaxi have been together for quite a while, so are ready and prepared for those kind of situations, and they just quite easily trade the kills out, play off of each other, and make sure not to get too aggressive. Use what they have, some nice flashbangs to kind of blind up the players on the site, allow that push to come in. Despite getting the bomb down, Kopsacker having to go for another soft eco here with just a few Deagles and some P250s. It's looking like Nexus is starting to get the lead, but Steffer says, hello, I still have a Deagle in hand. Don't count me out. See, we'll take down Jaxi. Well, yes, indeed, as it were, it would be goodbye indeed. A beautiful shot.
Taking out one of the star players as well. That's maybe the Deagle shot of the tournament so far on the side of Kopsacker in the 5th round. So early in this game to fire on all cylinders, and Zelo doesn't care, mops him up, isn't phased whatsoever. Zelo was a beast yesterday, definitely the best performer in Legend Series so far, and his rating was certainly the best, and Rome's gonna back off towards the bomb. He's got no HP to speak of, and BTN is charging him down, looking for this kill, and it's a headshot. That's 4 rounds on the board for the Romanians.
Yeah, doing really well so far. Again, cleanly winning the eco round out. You know, sometimes there are things like nice Deagle shots you can't really do all that much about. You know, as a player on the receiving end of that, but you can certainly then adjust and be like, right, no one else get aggressive. Make sure we're all playing together and Zello especially with a clean triple spray down pretty much secures the round there. But by coming in again from the German side, they've got the AWP in hand this time. Heats will be the one trying to get something done with that boomstick, but remains to be seen at this point. The utility not brilliant of that T side. Immer getting a bit aggressive. It does actually pay off, as the initial spray down didn't quite connect, but thankfully a nice little flashbang will allow him to get that one. Left on 15 HP, but I'm sure that's a trade he will happily take.
Yeah, not surprised about that one whatsoever. 4-1 being the scoreline as well. There's a minute 5 on the board. BTN actually got caught out by Heats there. The AWP on the German side. Going to be making his way into the A site. Wants to find an angle of engagement. The AWP from Squeaky isn't always the position that we see him at. Zello is cleaning house once again. Wants a bit more, and Zello with a huge triple kill. This guy's feeling immensely confident against the Germans. This is a no-respect style of Counter-Strike, as an already warranted 9 frags early on in this game.
That is the danger, Squid. You know, if Zello is able to come alive and be so aggressive and almost arrogant in his play style, and you're not able to put a stop to him, you can pretty much say goodbye to the victory in this one. You know, it's going to be really, really difficult. So they very quickly on that German side need to figure out where he's playing, how he's playing, and put a stop to that. And in a way, you could use it to your advantage. If he's going to get a bit cocky with his plays, then just let him do that, give him the room, and then focus him down and make sure to take him out early on in the round. But whew, so far, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, so far, it seems very calculated from Zello. There's not much that you can really circumnavigate, but the one is playing right around this corner on the B site as well, and STP isn't doing too much in the way of distraction on the A site. So IM's going to have a clean firing range down as he takes one, falls back. Lets him pour into the one. There's a bit of support there, but he waits for the flash, and it's almost a clean-up. Rome's only player left grabs hold of an AK-47, but unable to do anything with it. 6-1.
Yeah, and it's looking how we expected. A little bit of a shaky start from Nexus, but now they're really starting to run away with it, showing us why they are one of the strongest sides in the Legend series at the moment, and it's really coming through. You know, they're not just winning rounds, they're winning them so decisively and securing those eco rounds, kind of the accumulator rounds, as B Magic, who is a classic Australian but UK
Who the hell
pro.
Is B Magic?
B Magic, he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
He is. Who the hell
just
is
sort of
B
casted
Magic?
with him a few times.
Oh,
yeah, so
really?
he's like an old UK pro, and he's just got a great mind for the game. Yeah.
Obviously not for aliases. Stipe is going to find the first headshot towards the A side. Nexus collapsing in once again. BTN with 2 both headshots. As Nexus wants to go for this swarm. It's the one finding a single one. As I am on the flank. There's in the backing. Kopsaka, I'm not really sure what we're seeing right now. Nexus gave them a lot of respect in that round in particular, not really going for those early engagements, so giving up the bomb site, that's giving up a bit of money, giving up a bit of advantage as well, but the retake seems so good. Maybe that's the tactic from Nexus, thinking, right, our team play and coordination is going to be far better than yours, we're going to play the retakes, even if it's a classically disadvantageous position.
Yeah, and especially when they've got that full utility, they can kind of say, right, you can gain control of the bomb site, but then once the bomb goes down, we are going to be able to control the round from there on in, because we've got all that utility, especially the Molotovs. You know, you can Molotov fork, smoke out A main, Molotov default, Molotov quad, and all of a sudden the T's are going to be so out of position and so lost with where they're playing from, that the CTs that Nexus will be able to easily retake it back. Whereas if they try and put up those initial fights early on in the round, it can be very difficult to read your opponent in that situation. So smart play from them to just kind of give up the A bomb site and not kind of over peak, get too confident, too aggressive and lose the round because of it. So really, really well read, really well recovered from them in the end of that 8th round.
Kopsaka playing a lot slower this time, maybe wanting to run distraction using Fabdel on the B site. They're letting that bomb tick down. I want to see what Heats can do with the AWP. Let's watch him. He's somebody that we've been talking about a lot recently. He throws those nades in. There's a flash as well. As Heats going for this shallow peek. A couple of players falling at the other side of him. He's aware of this coming through. We're on Heat's cam right now as I wanted to see him heat up. Wanting to pull into this site as he does spot one out. There's a no-scope, doesn't actually hit, but Jaxi just so aggressive. Goes for that peek. What would normally not be the most intelligent play in that situation actually pays off, and Heats does go down. He's had a bit of a slow start so far.
Yeah, it's difficult there. That no-scope, you know, there was a case to be made, maybe it should have landed, but obviously kind of the RNG that comes into no-scoping with an AWP. Obviously not going to play into his hands in that situation. But interesting to note on the Nexus side as well. They had the opportunity to save that, but decided not to. They're not really fancying the AWP here. And it would seem that sort of their play style is just sort of play off of the rifles rather than trying to use the AWP. Don't, you know, if they're not so confident on it, don't allow the terrorist side to get in any way. They just want to shut them out completely. So they're not even taking the risk to pick up the AWP there. But like you say, Kovsaka, especially Heats, you know, they need, if they have that dedicated AWP role, they need him to come alive to be getting those initial picks. As it happens, he's towards the back of the pack. The rest of his team are out in front, and they're the ones getting taken down, where maybe he would be able to land the shots and open the path, the doorway, to allow the Germans into the bomb site. So he perhaps needs to step up his confidence levels and be a bit more aggressive with the big green gun.
Maybe getting inside their head slightly. I want to make a note that Kovsaka just used the first tactical pause that we've seen in Legends series. They're certainly taking this one seriously. Zello, Witten, Heats all wishing each other good luck and chat in the one. Oh, look at this. This is actually brutal. They go for the peak straight up. It's against the pistols. 0 kills for Kovsaka. And the Romanians just charge on, pile in. And that was actually embarrassing. You want to see the counter-nades come in early on for Kovsaka. They seem completely unprepared for that one. I have to give them credit. In other situations, they've seemed completely prepared. They've known exactly when the push, the peak is coming in. It was with pistols, but they didn't seem ready for that push whatsoever. In the one, was able to take a 1v0 against players with the knives out.
The panic is beginning to set in for the German side as they are 8 rounds down. Imi going to open up as well towards middle with that initial frag. Also dropping the bomb. Again, a bit of another solo play coming in. We've seen that flash before, and it will come into fruition yet again. A nade from BTN, and it's just so one-sided so far. Molotov, the one making a solo play. He takes down Roms. And now, with 1 minute and 10 seconds remaining, Stepper's all by himself. He's got to retrieve the bomb, and he's 1 versus 5. I mean, how much worse could it get? The one says a little bit worse. A bullet to the head is how much worse it could get. And an easy 10th round on the board now for Nexus.
The problem for Kovsaka so far is they had a couple of really close rounds at the start where they had a couple of 3v3s, 2v2s. Nexus seemed to outlast them in that situation. It almost looked like Nexus wanted to go for those retakes instead. Maybe playing this one as more of a team unit instead of taking up the Angels. They seem to be playing a very no-respect style of Counter-Strike now that Kovsaka have used a couple of those pre-prepared strats and have fallen back to 1 round, having the buy up. Now they've got the pistols. It seems to be that bicycle of low economy, and you can see the one from up top. That's not an angle you would commonly check. It's not an angle commonly used. Kovsaka up him. Oh, this is another angle that they're not checking. It's Zello from above. They're going to finally neutralize him. It's Heats with 2 and 3. Heats finally coming alive. There are the headshots. And he finally taps the numbers into this bomb with 50 seconds left. He's got plenty of time. The Molotov's useless, and they're going to try and pile drive into this bomb site. But if Heat has anything to say about it, he's going to finish him off! There's 4! Almost finishing off the job as well. Heat's going absolutely massive on the A site, and it's down to Witten with the Deagle. What can he do? Spots out the golden barrel, tags him up, but it's all Heat. He's the man of the moment. That's why we're making videos about him. It's Heat.
Absolutely incredible from him to pick up that AK, absolutely capitalizing upon it. You know, 2 beautiful headshots there in the middle of the round. Secures himself a 4th and pretty much secures the round for his team. And that is what you want to see. He is the danger man of this German side, as you have mentioned. He needs to come alive. Now got his hands back on the AWP and potential start to come back in this half. For the German side, Rom's opening up, doing a hell of a lot of damage onto Imi as well. Bodes quite well. The rest of the T's are going to back off slightly, however, and just kind of take that one-on-one fight, that one-man trade that they've got going on. Fabdel, a name that we've not seen very much of at all in this game, will actually find the head of BTN. So they've all, off the back of that solo play from Heats, they have all come alive. They're all feeling as excited as we are here. And they're really starting to play a hell of a lot better, at least in the early stages of this 13th round.
This is exactly what you want as well. You want one player to step up being the catalyst to really play well. And Kopsaka with full mid control right now. Nexus playing a lot more passive, seemingly playing a lot more serious as well. With Jaxi hidden in the back here, one Molotov could finish him off, and that's another tag from Heat. He's doing damage left, right, and center. And now through vents, when's Jaxi going to strike? He wants to go for this peek here. It's Heats again with another tag with the AWP. This time a frag. As Jaxi gets his face blown off, it's all down to Zello, who's been such a crucial member, but he can only take one. Kopsaka finally waking up here on Cash.
Yeah, it's taken them a fair amount of time, not going to lie. But they are now getting into the swing of things, it would seem. As it's easier said than done for sure. On the terrorist side of things, especially when you start getting locked out. You know, if the CTs are able to have the run of the mill, it's going to be so hard to get back into the game. Heat's missing a shot there, unfortunately, on the middle. Wittekind from boost, however, will take down Jaxi to secure a very early 5 versus 4 now for Kopsaka.
And it's once again them stepping up. If they can find a 10-5 enter this half, take a second pistol round, they could definitely stand a chance in this half after a slightly less than average start to this half. Being 10-1 down at one point, they now seem to finally being... They're finally waking up, bursting into life.
Yeah. Better late than never, I suppose. If they can get themselves 5 rounds on the board here, it definitely does look good going into the second half, as it remains to be seen how good their CT side is. And Nexus definitely a little bit shook after that round. You know, you can definitely see now playing a little bit more passive. Not getting so aggressive. I think we all are for sure. Either way, 5 versus 4 now as the B hit is going to come in. The one and Imi do get 2 between them. Rom's able to trade 1 back. So all even Stevens and a hell of a lot of damage being done onto Heat and Wittekind, but are still able to get into the side. Flank coming in, however, and the Molotov from Heat actually takes down his teammate. So a team kill coming in. 2-on-1. Stepper on the flank will get taken down as Zello is savvy to it. And that Molotov really could have cost Kopsaka that round.
Yeah, it felt like they did get unlucky in that position. Without the Molotov, it felt like Stippy had an even better off angle than he had. With the flank, he's on 10 frags, really heading up the scoreboard for the German side. As the AKs are finally brought out, they're at the bottom of their bank as we end this first half.
Yeah, indeed. I mean, it's quite an important round here. Their backs firmly against the wall, and that aggression coming in again. There's all 5 Ts there, but they're still able to pick up 3 kills on the CT side of things and do a fair amount of damage to the remaining 2. What an absolute mess, as the Germans just don't quite have that confidence, you know, to have that one player to peek out and be the first man to go in, the first port of call to allow the trade to come in. As it happens, they all line up, and that allows the rest of the CTs to get aggressive. BTN only able to get 1. Wittekind, can he? He cannot. I was going to say, can he replicate what he did all those rounds ago? but Zello will take him down before I can even finish the sentence. So a 12-3 half from Nexus. Little bit shaky in those couple rounds there, but very quickly able to recover it back as we would have expected.
Well, if you go to our Facebook and Twitter, we made a video about Kopsaka, most notably about Heats. I called him a streaky star. He's definitely been a streaky performer this game, with 4 of his 6 kills in that half coming in the very same round. 12-3, they need him to step up a couple more times on this CT side. They've put him towards mid on this fast rotation, but it's going to be a quick push into the B side. A contact play, and there's a contact here. The CTs definitely didn't want a bullet in the head for Roams. Here's Zello. Oh, what a shot! Zello absolutely assassinates and executes Witham.
5 versus 3. Bomb going to go down momentarily for this T side. The CTs decidedly locked out. Fabdel's got 2 flashbangs. Whether he meant to buy a kit as well remains to be seen, but he doesn't actually have one, so it does not matter in this case, as Heat's going to get taken down to 2 HP. 5 versus 3 situation. Make it a 5 versus 4. Fabdel coming alive with a P2K now, able to get 2, but will get taken down. Jaxi and BTN leave it all on Heats now. Find ahead of 1, but 2 HP does him no favours, as Jaxi will secure that round. And I mean, Zello, the man of the hour, the man of the game, the man of that round for sure.
Yeah, that second shot was absolutely startling and stunning. As we find ourselves on a 13-3 scoreline, Kopsaka down, have to get the pistols out once again. It's those deagles for 3. Steepy Roms Heats on those as the P250 and CZ head up the other 2 players. And Zello always going to spot out Heats, but Heat spots him faster. Deagle right between the eyes. IM trades it back. NS and Zello.
Yeah, man. It's difficult stuff. CT side on the quasi-buy.
7-1.
Steffer as well. Whittakin not able to connect the headshots. And
That was
be
like
the
a
B-bomb side.
Nintendo Wii bowling style of commentary there.
Well, I mean, when it gets to this point, you know, 13-3, it's not quite as conventional, you know. It's very, very one-sided indeed. Nexus, it's their game to lose at this point, you know. Kopsaka, really difficult for them to get back in. BTN with a quick 3 from Mini Pit. Certainly going to make it even more difficult now. It's going to have to be another force, surely, from the German side.
All 3 players getting shot between one eye and the other. Somewhere in between. There's one. This isn't looking too promising for the Germans. Maybe too convincing series here today at Legend Series after a stunning first day. These Deagles once again have to go quite big. There's a shot. He doesn't quite find it. His Nexus clean up once more. And Cash might be all said and done.
By the looks of things, another decisive round. Roms does actually take down the 1, gets his hands on an AK, but no armor, 1 versus 4. No kit. He's got a Molotov, but I don't think that's quite enough in this situation. It's probably wiser to just save and hope that you can pop off with that AK into the next round. And that looks like it is going to be the case. He's sitting in Sunroom with his AK in hand. Now 15-3. 12 match points for Nexus. And that's just to take it to overtime. Kopsaka with a monumental mountain to climb if they want to come back on this one.
Yeah, this is going to be difficult. And although they did have a good start, Nexus have been favourable in so many different situations. Of course, Kopsaka have had their couple of moments of glory. Exceptional play on the A site, for example. But now this might be the final round of this map, and you might be forced onto another one as a couple of Kopsaka knives come through, and it's Roms to take the tag. Take a little bit of damage.
That's definitely not what you want towards the tail end of the round, especially when there's so much kind of riding on this situation, in all honesty. But hey-ho, it is what it is. You kind of have to take it on the chin there. A bit more damage being done onto Heats as well. 1 will find Roms on the edge of that smoke in B main. Forced to rotate to come in from middle, and now T-side can have full control of middle. The A split should hopefully come in Although the bomb is left in T's spawn, so I think someone should probably go back and pick that one up. Unless they're just expecting to find the heads, and I think at 15-3 they definitely expect to do so. Imi and Jaxi chiming in on that A-bomb site. There will be a kill back towards B onto the 1, but unfortunately 4 versus 2 now. Looking ever difficult for this CT side. Heats gets 1 immediately traded back. So Whittakin to keep his team in it in the 1 versus 3, but BTN will find his head. 16-3 on cash. I mean, it's really, really the Nexus show as we expected here in our second series of the evening.
Yeah, that was quite dominating from start to finish, with a couple of glimpses of what Kopfsacker are really made of. I feel like it was maybe the mental game as well that kind of got them down. They had a lot more chances to take rounds that they didn't capitalize on, a lot of those retakes that Nexus won instead. Either way, we're going to be back in about 5 minutes for the second map of this second series of the day. Make sure to not go anywhere. Hi, we're ELC Gaming and we're looking forward to one of the greatest events we've ever had. The Ireland E-Stars will feature a tour with our esports truck, Big Betty, all the way through Ireland. We will start right here from our headquarters in Germany, where Big Betty will take 2 ferries to get to Ireland. The first from Rotterdam to Hull, then from Holyhead, which will take Betty directly to Dublin. From there, she will travel to 9 different locations in 9 weeks, where we'll visit the best football clubs in Ireland. But to do what exactly? To host one of the biggest League of Legends tournaments ever to be held in Ireland. Each of the 9 teams will be represented by 5 League of Legends players, and a 10th team will represent E-Star's head sponsor, 3. After 9 weeks of tough battle, the grand final will then find its winner live from the 3 Arena in Dublin. Check out our Facebook events or visit estars.pro for further information. This is 3 Ireland's E-Stars.
CSGO Legends Series is back and revamped with a brand new system never before seen in competitive esports. ELC Gaming is unveiling a brand new unique point system which takes a wide range of win conditions into account. From rank of opponent played, strength on T and CT side, and variety of maps played will all influence points accumulated. Teams earn cash every time they play, with rewards given, win or lose. All matches will be broadcast twice per week, live from the ELC Hamburg studios, home of Big Betty. An all-exclusive, all-inclusive $25,000 prize pool Legends Cup awaits, where the 2 European champions will face off against a team from the US and a team from China. Join us March 6th for our first episode. This is where legends are born. Welcome to Legend Series. Go to elcgaming.com for more information.
again, I'm joined by Scriv. I can see a lot of people in the chat talking about and asking questions about what Legend Series is. So I thought for the first couple of minutes before we get into this game, I'd explain it a little bit. So Legend Series is a concept that we've all thought up, and it's 12 teams over the next 4 months. And the idea is to gather content partners, higher and lower tier teams to create storylines. We've got teams that are content partners, and we'll be producing lots and lots of different content over the next 4 months. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that. But right now, we've got another exciting second map of this series coming up for you. Between Nexus and Kopsaka, we just saw quite a convincing cash. Scriv, have you got any comments on that one?
I mean, it's quite hard to give any kind of analysis, in-depth analysis, because it was really Nexus just playing their own game. And Kopsaka allowed them to do that in most of the rounds. We had one brilliant round from Heats. You know, we talked about how effective he is for that German side. But unfortunately, as a team, just not quite able to come together. And the mountain was too big to climb in the end. Nexus just absolutely trouncing their opponents in the first game.
Yeah, and we've got Mirage next, so a repeat of the first series that we saw today. Just the other way around, a bit of a difference in order. A bit of different proceedings. However, both these teams are actually loading into the server now, and you can see right there from Nexus Gaming, this is their best map with a 50% round win rate, and that's against very high tier opposition. You can see there's a win versus Pride in there as well. That's a very, very notable win, being another team in this edition of Legend Series, the 5th edition, of course. Do you think that having high tier experience like that really matters?
Yeah, it can do it. You know, a lot of these high tier teams obviously put you in a situation where you have to be playing your best Counter-Strike. So in this case, maybe Nexus aren't firing on all cylinders, trying as possibly hard as they need to, because they don't have to. But if it comes to a situation where Kopsaka are really able to start running away with the game, Nexus can draw on those past games, on that kind of past ability to pull out the best in themselves, and therefore take the win, because they'll be able to, you know, step it up a gear. Because I think in that first game they really weren't, you know, let's say they have 6 gears, they were probably at about 4 or 5, not quite playing to the best standard. There was a little bit of sloppy mistakes from a couple of the players in some rounds, but obviously the rest of the team easily able to recover it.
Yeah, and I want to see what Kopsaka are really made of in this one. Mirage, a bit more of a puggy map. These are definitely puggy players as well, but you've got to be quite scared of them as well, because you saw Zello in that previous map firing on all cylinders. He was an absolute monster, just like yesterday on Cobblestone Cash. It was a repeat performance.
He is the danger man. He's huge, and really a name to watch within this region. You know, you've got to keep an eye on him, because he had some absolutely incredible rounds, just solo plays, you know, that he was able to pull off and get 2-3 kills at a time. And that's a really dangerous player to face off against. On top of that, though, you know, we talk about how effective he is. There's also Jaxi, BTN, The One. They all had really good games in their own rights and could hold their own, at least for the moment, against Kopsaka. It remains to be seen for the rest of the tournament, you know, whether they'll be able to put up those numbers against some of the bigger teams, Epsilon, Pride, that kind of thing. But for now, the whole team is playing very well.
Yeah, and we've got 9 out of 10 of the players in the server right now just warming up on Mirage. They haven't started the knife round just yet, so don't worry, you're not missing out on anything. However, we should be getting into this game very, very shortly if that last player does join. I'm not sure who we're missing.
I'm not quite sure, to be fair. It's one of those things, when you look at the rosters, you'll be talking about them all game, and then someone drops out, and you'll just be like, who is it? You just can't remember.
It is, you know, such a brain fart. People who don't cast underestimate how difficult that is. Just noticing, even if it's a team that you know really, really well, it can be difficult there as well. But a team like Kopsaka that I don't really know too well, not just yet anyway, maybe by Legend Series we'll be firmly acquainted, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure who's gone. Either way. Have we got any predictions for this one?
I think it's going to go the way of Nexus. Remains to be seen how close it's going to be. Mirage, like you say, very similar to Cash in the sense that it's a very puggy map, and can be very difficult to get your foot in the door if it's just not working out for you. And the Germans certainly experienced that on Cash, so might end up seeing a bit of a repeat of that up against Nexus on Mirage here.
Yeah, and Mirage, as we said earlier, is a very puggy map at times. It can definitely lend itself to these aimers. And that is very much what this map is about. You've not really got that many strats, and the strats that are common have all really been strained and extenuated at this point. Since Mirage is actually the oldest map of the map pool.
Yeah, I believe so, in terms of not being changed and whatnot. It certainly is. There's been, we see on Nuke, they made little changes and things. That happens on Cash and other maps sometimes. Mirage is very rarely touched by Valve in terms of its layout, and even just tiny little things like moving a box here and there.
I think Mirage is the perfect map. I
think that's it, isn't it?
Mirage is so good. I think Mirage is just bellissimo. Maybe
it's
other
beautiful.
people disagree. Either way, make
it
sure
is a staple map of CS:GO for sure.
Yeah, I think when Dust 2 got removed, Mirage is the one that people kind of look at and say, that is CS:GO.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so many iconic series played on it as well. Maybe we'll see another iconic series in a couple of minutes. They're just resetting the lobby. Since one member of Kopsaka couldn't quite connect. So we're just resetting that, and we'll be back in a couple of moments. But for the time being, can't remember, did you give a score? Let's give scores and see who's closer. Come on. Let's go. Let's make this competitive. We want some competition here on the cast desk.
Okay. 16-7 to Nexus Gaming.
16-7 to Nexus Gaming. I think Kopsaka will take less rounds than that. I'll say 16-6. I'll say 16-6. I'll say 16-6. I'll have to give a number. Okay. Either way. So they're just starting this one, and they're just getting all into the server. It's going to be on Mirage in the next few moments, but I'm going to return a segment. We don't have the graphics made just yet, but we are going to go to Reddit. So Tony, we're going to Reddit. So basically, Scriv, how this works is you just get open Reddit, and we just chat about Reddit for the time being.
Right.
The CS Global Offensive Reddit is getting launched up here. Here we go. We're going to turn this into a proper segment, folks, and go for it. So when the teas align, I haven't read Reddit today. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going to get So they're definitely going to get like quadded by an AWP or something. Oh, it's lagging. Sure. No. What's gonna happen? It's so tense.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Oh, that's
was he flashed?
Stuff.
As well,
I think so, but it's the bunny hops off the head, isn't it?
Oh, that's what it is.
That's what it is.
I was lagging too much to do it. Oh, and then he spots the head. That everything aligned. Yeah. The T's aligned even.
Beautiful.
That's
stuff.
it. There's no funny comment there as well. When G2's losing 8-0, yikes from the actual G2. That's nice. G2. Just people.
I mean, kind of play into the G2 thing, right? This French super team that we kind of expected to be so incredible, and they just have fallen off a map, fallen off a cliff rather, I suppose.
I know this is going to be funny.
But like, it's just a mess.
Olaf Meister's POV as Flusher walks by him in the IEM Katowice Grand Final.
Oh God.
This will be funny. Give me the Twitter video. They don't do Twitter videos on this PC. This PC doesn't like Twitter videos. We'll get that fixed for next segment as well. For next session, we'll get that one fixed. Either way, that's Reddit. That's Reddit over. We're done with Reddit. We're going to show you some Counter-Strike instead. Next time, we're going to button that segment up, and we're gonna properly do a number on that segment before the show, or whatever, or we'll just record it or whatever. I think it has to be live. Scriv, do you want to come back and do some Reddit talk live at some point? Yeah, sure thing. Sure thing. Either way, we've got 8 players in at this point. They're having pack errors and in a couple of errors, so maybe this game might never start. Either way, I'm on the server. Let's have a little chat about this one once more. We've got to rank the maps in order of how good they are. And chat can help us out as well. Where's chat?
Okay.
I want Reddit. I want Reddit. Nah. Let's go back to Reddit. Screw that. Screw that. Go back to Reddit, Tony. Just tell me in chat when we're done. When we're done. Since this is completely impromptu, we haven't done this. Virtus Pro versus Envious Academy. Without even looking at it, who won? What's the scoreline? Or have you seen this already?
I haven't seen it. 16-5 to Envious.
16-13 for Envious Academy.
Oh, okay.
I wonder how much money they paid for. Mihu.
I know, right? It's sad.
They're gonna have to pay some more money. Hate to tell them. Yeah, they've got to pay. They've got to pay a lot more money if they want to actually win tournaments. Just shows that you can't buy trophies. You can. We bought a trophy, a beautiful Legends Cup that's downstairs. Right, this one on cash. Smoke out. Ah, there it is. That's beautiful, isn't it? This is how to play. That's a good Molotov as well. He's fully flashed. What's going on? Is this just an ace? When's a good thing gonna happen? When's a Reddit-worthy thing gonna happen? Is it just him getting kills? I demand more. I demand higher quality. And this video is so long as well. He just got like a good minute of... Ah, there it is! Ah! I love it. I love it. I wonder what the comments on Virtus Pro vs Envious are. Let's go through this. The Sixer guy is pretty good. Can't wait to see where he goes. Probably main roster. Who knows? Almost thought Envious Academy were about to lose to a tier 3 team. Last round sums up VP. Let's see the last round. Right, let's get rid of the Russian. Envious Academy with the UK flag. It's like to add insult to injury. They put a UK flag in there. Oh, look at this round. Oh, no.
It's so sad to watch.
They all missed. They all missed. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, that's so sad. All right, let's see what else is happening. I want something funny. Fnatic confirmed for DreamHack Masters. Are you excited about that event?
Yeah, for sure. I love a bit of the DreamHack stuff. I think they little bit underrated sometimes, and I think a part of that comes from the caliber of players and teams that end up there. We got a new one, perhaps.
Apparently, Nexus joined the wrong team, so it looks like we're going to be going through Reddit for the tiniest bit longer. Space Soldiers versus G2. Let's look at what happened. 16-5 to Space Soldiers. 16-14 for Space Soldiers. There's some Turkish love right there. MG2 Esports. I like that. MG2 Esports. That's great. That's great. Either way, we're going to be getting back into this game, read it over. That's going to be a proper segment. So make sure you join us back here Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 for ELC Gaming TV. Let's have a look at what's coming up on the schedule as well over the next couple of days and give you a quick wrap-up of what happened this match day. Epsilon versus Team Pride. That got delayed, rescheduled. We'll be keeping you updated on that on our social medias. Nexus Gaming versus Pompa Team. A close win for Nexus Gaming. Pompa didn't lose too many legend points for that loss. Playing Ducks versus Masse, that was a little less close with Masse taking quite a convincing 2-0. We're right here on QB5 versus Venatores. That's going to be on Tuesday, 7 o'clock CET. Make sure you're there. Make sure you join us. And then Team Spirit versus Trick. That's soon to be a great matchup coming up just then. But for the time being, it's Nexus versus Kopsaka. And we're live in the knife round. So join us for some more exciting Counter-Strike right here, right now. Jancy putting go kill in chat. That's a good strat. Oh, no. Oh, that's what he meant. Oh, maybe they already played the knife round. No need to fear, guys. Okay. Maybe they already played the knife round and Nexus just took the knife round. Let's see.
Yeah.
The flags are the wrong way round, but that's because Nexus joined the wrong team, so what can you expect? They're tired. It's quite late.
And it's not going to make too much of a difference to the Counter-Strike. Although it probably will confuse us, as we'll be calling Nexus the Germans and the Romanians. So, you know, either way, rush coming out from Palace, the waterfall strategy. Zello going to find a quick headshot onto Witterkind, but can't find any more than that. Close. Will take down Heats, however. And Imi has found Roms. No kit needed, as it will be 4 players remaining for the CT side. Yet again, another decisive pistol from them, as they will take round number 1 on Mirage.
That's what we waited for, Screv. We waited for that tactic. They were flying all over the place, like headless chickens.
And all that time.
They had half an hour to prepare that. No, that's a disappointing pistol round, I have to admit, but Kopsaka, they've got a lot of time to maybe prove themselves. Some of this one, they're only going to have pistols, no armor, no Kevlar, no nades to speak of whatsoever. So just want to do a little bit of damage, and it all starts with Roms with a deagle.
Not able to secure anything. He will be the one to actually take the damage, unfortunately. 60 points of it. Again, it's going to be another quick rush out for the T side. Imi able to get 2 before going down. Zello and BTN are here to clean up. However, the moneymaker in the MP9. BTN going to be loving those frags. Only losing 1 player there. They managed to recover the M4. So again, another good anti-eco round from that Nexus side. But now, of course, getting that bomb down in the pistol, Kopsaka are going to be pulling out those AKs around early. But Nexus, as you can see, are prepared for this. Everyone's got an M4. Everybody's fully bought up, as the previous round to this was very clean indeed. So bodes well for them going into round number 3 here to get this first rifle round.
Oh, there's a nade. That might be a big one, and it is. Oh, a double nade onto Fabdel. He takes 2 dunks down to 17 HP, and Nexus still looking convincing. It's Fabdel trying to tap away with the AK-47, not able to connect. It's BTN, it's a... Oh, look at that defense. It's meaty onto mid.
4 on 4. BTN and Fabdel are on reasonably low HPs, but Zello with the double spray down coming in. Talk about how dangerous he can be. The one as well spotting out Steffer in the B apps. So containment going to come in from this CT side here. I think Imi as well has heard Witterkind running away. He's got to go back and secure that bomb, but Zello has got his eyes on it, and he's going to hear Witterkind coming in here. Not quite able to connect the kill as of yet. Witterkind will actually take him down, so into a 2 on 3, but could very quickly become a 2 on 2, as I mentioned, BNT on low HP. Flanking around, though, is Imi. Going to catch them out here in just a second, and securely gets the double spray down. And that'll be a 3rd round on the board. Nexus, again, off to a good start here. Win that first rifle round. The economy of the T side now significantly weakened, and it should be an easy 4th.
I hate to say, with the time gone, with no map control, And with a lot of time actually still on the clock, I beg your pardon, Kopsaka didn't need to run with knives out just then. A bit of a lack of patience as well, just with the Rise too firmly on the prize, wanting to do something. But there's another one from Heat. This time stepping up. We saw it once on Cash, and oh, there's another one tap, but it's through the wall, doesn't do nearly as much damage. But when Heat steps up, everyone's got to be scared.
Yeah, for sure. We saw that one round. But I think, in all fairness, the biggest round of the previous game, it just ended up, not resulting in too much in the grand scheme of things. But like you say, he is the biggest name on this German side so far. Can definitely make a good go of things. Zello messing around with the AK. One, however, on the other side of the map is securely holding down that B-bomb site. Jaxi will chime in with one of his own, but again, a good hold on the anti-eco as Nexus get themselves that easy fall.
Heats with the AWP, maybe a chance for him as everybody else buying AK-47s around him. Nades galore for all the rest, as Nexus have an equally as meaty buy with BTN on the AWP, everybody else with rifles, but with 2 AK-47s picked up for that one-tap potential. Nades and smokes for the top of mid, and it's actually Heats to find that opening. That's exactly what you want. You want to see him firing on all cylinders. Another one onto the B site now is Heats. Oh. Has the AWP, has all three. Has the bomb site locked down as well, with the bomb being placed. Heats has beyond lockdown.
I think the save call might come in as well. There might be a formidable side, but 2 versus 4 now, it's still very difficult to come back from, especially with no utility and an AWP on the retake. So perhaps looking to do a bit more economic damage to the terrorist side, of course. Their economy is not going to be in the best position, but then neither is the economy of the CT side, it has to be said. Especially with pulling that AWP out this round, BTN's personal economy, at the very least, not very good at all. He will take down Wittekind. Now, the key fight comes in. He also finds Heats. Not quite able to find Steppe yet, but they're just walking into his crosshair at this point. Steppe doesn't want any of it at all. Oh, look at this, though. It's just so aggressive. He doesn't actually get around the corner, but he really wanted to. Just running straight in with his deagle. So confident in himself.
And look at what he's done to the economy of those 2 players. 150, 200, 200. He's leveled 3 players down to almost no money to talk of whatsoever. And that allows Nexus to go for another aggressive peak. Zello to the top of mid. His Kopsaka want the set play towards A.
Yeah, it's sort of going into the back pocket with the executes. Now that you've secured that first round, it's good to go to something that is reasonably reliable. But difficulty falls in actually pulling that off. It's a bit of a weird mid-setup coming in from the CT side, it has to be said. Imi, this first protocol on the A-bomb side, will manage to find Heat. Also gets Wittekind, holding it down very, very well by himself. And immediately the T's here, the confidence just not really there. They're just running straight away. Roms will get dinked, but returns it. And of course, having that AK in hand means it will convert into a kill. So 4 on 3. Roms, as I said, left on 13 HP here, so not ideal for the T side, as they're really not sure of what to do. And it's just, again, that mental game. Their confidence is just not really there. Imi picks up 2 kills. They don't even try and trade him. They're just like, right, don't want anything to do with that. Let's get out of here.
And a 4 versus 3 now. Kopsaka want to go towards the A site, but there's 2 players over here. It's BTN and IM staring them down, but IM gets shot in the face. BTN has the AWP, but he's caught in no man's land right around this corner. As Kopsaka finally planting that bomb down with not much time left. There's a smoke to go around. Is BTN actually going to get smoked out, but I think he's probably going to just jump through this one, try and find an angle, and he does spot one. Fabdel trying to look through the corners of these boxes. They're not properly aligned, so you can actually see quite a surprisingly large amount. Rom's no HP, but he's stuck in Palace. As Nexus are waiting a long, long time for this one, and Fabdel misses the headshot. The one finds 2. That's a real problem. Stipe's got to go huge here, but he's been held out by Jaxi. Nexus steal it away, and there's a 5th round.
Again, it comes down to these situations, the close, clutch, nitty-gritty moments of the latter stages of a round. And Nexus are just able to keep it together and work well together as a team, you know, and look after each other, make sure everyone has that trust factor that their teammate is going to have their back, you know, and make sure they can pull off the defuse, that sort of thing. Whereas the T side are sort of forced to not be as trusting and just pull out the solo plays and hope that they themselves can win the round rather than sack it as a unit. So it will be a 5th, as you say, and a reset coming in now onto the economy of that T side. First kill for the one. He's got so many more to deal with in the apps. He sees a hell of a lot more players. Drop straight out of there. Molotov is good though, and Jaxi, of course, is here to help out. BTN on the flank will secure it in the end. So well done there from the one, not to get too cocky, not to be like, well, there's 4 players here. I could get myself a quad spray down. He's just going to play it safe, drop back, and allow his teammates to rotate in and get another round on the board.
There's 5 rifles for Nexus once again, of course. After taking 6-1, your economy is going to be blossoming. They've got plenty of money to go around. You can see 8,000 on the one in IM. Everybody else with quite a bit of money, but heats towards mid. And someone's going to peek him. It's Jaxi. Actually gets a shoulder blown off, and that's enough. He's bleeding out on the floor. It's Kopsaka to find that opening frag in Zelo. He's getting cheeky bottom of mid. Rom's going to catch him off guard. Didn't know what was happening there. I want Nexus to just play a little more passive here and not give Kopsaka anything to work with, especially not easy peeks like that onto heats. It's 2 for him.
Indeed, coming alive with this AWP yet again. These seem to be the rounds that that T side can take away. BTN on the edge of the smoke here, looking to find something. Heat so going absolutely huge right now with this AWP, looking for the 4th of the round. He will be able to spot out BTN at least by sound, and we'll eventually see him. A great flick from him. He is certainly one to watch. The rest of the team look a bit lost at the moment, not quite as coordinated as you would expect. You know, Fabdel 0, 0, and 6, and he was very quiet on cash. Sort of remains to be seen as to whether he actually plays for this team or if he's just sort of cannon fodder. But you know, but Heats on the other hand, very, very effective indeed at least as a solo entity. The team as a whole though do look a bit lost.
Yeah, exactly like that. Roms goes for a blind peek out. Nobody there to take advantage. Nobody there to capitalize or trade. Especially knowing that Zelo's got so aggressive on multiple occasions towards the top of mid. That's really not what you want. Zelo gonna put together a follow-up smoke towards the top of mid. He's just going for peeks and peeks. Even against the AWP, as hot as it is in Heat's hand, he's gonna be forced back.
Yeah, really frag again. Possibly the chance of a reset coming in, which is definitely what the German side want to avoid. You know, not a good way to be playing Counter-Strike, get around here and there, but then you get reset, you lose 2 or 3 more in a row, and all of a sudden the half goes to an 11-3 scoreline, 11-4 scoreline yet again. So they kind of need to recover this one back, in all honesty, if they want to get their foot back in the door, start evening up that scoreline. The smokes are going to come in, flashes will follow suit. Zelo getting aggressive with the sandwich. Going to get taken down by 3 players. BTN, however, they've not checked for him, and that'll be the end of the round as Jaxi and Imi chime in. Zelo did do a lot of damage there onto those terrorists close to him, so able to capitalise. In the 7th round, reset comes in. A little bit of money in the coffers, though, for the Kopsaka side, but ultimately going to be another soft eco, and should be an 8th round on the board for Nexus, as they are looking so decisive going into the latter stages of this half.
What you saw there was very similar to a B defense on train. When you've got one player towards the B site playing so well, you can afford to stack forward towards the A site. That's exactly what Nexus has been doing. They've been putting just the one man on B. It's the one every single time. A couple of pistol kills come through this time. Oh, another one from Witland. His Roms does get left alive all alone. He's got an M4 body armor as well, but the one... Oh, that's a fast shot. Straight through the lucky smoke. It lingers above the Molotov. 8-2 being the scoreline. But yeah, on the B site of Train, just like the B site of Mirage, if you play one player at B and that's enough, you can play 4 players elsewhere and give yourself a great defense all over. It can be a weakness if you can just find the first man on the B site. Kopsaka haven't quite sniffed that one out just yet. They don't know that they're playing that sort of a defense, and they've changed it up again. Nexus haven't stayed static in their fallback. You can see this time it's Jaxi on short with 3 on A. I think they've played 11 different defenses so far.
Yeah, for sure. They're just able to pull out all these different ideas. Cello again. He is getting a bit aggressive, able to find the head. However, trading 1 for 1 at the very least. Heats, though, you don't want to be giving him kills and giving him the confidence going forward with this AWP. Imi will get taken down. Heats with another beautiful shot coming in, but Jaxi picks up 2 from below stairs. Now Heats gets himself a 3rd for the round, jumps across, but will get taken down. Some beautiful shots, but too many players to be finding. Unfortunate for him. It's just, I mean, he's got 12 kills. He's the highest fragging player on the server right now. But 2 rounds for his team. I mean, this is a really bad position for him to be in, and so heartbreaking. But it could be another, you know, kind of ROP situation, perhaps, where you have this one standout player and he gets picked up by a bit of a bigger team, maybe a Penta or an alternate attacks in the German scene, you know, and could definitely do a lot better for himself. Imi at the moment cleaning up as he usually does on this A bomb site, gets himself a 3k. A little bit of help from his friends will secure round number 10 for Nexus relatively quickly.
And that's a really important point, and that's what Legend Series is all about. It's about discovering untapped talent, giving them chances against players and teams that they wouldn't always get to play. And Heats might be standing out and stepping up right now. Heats has 12 kills. The rest of Kopfsacker have 11. So he is really showing up in a way that we haven't quite seen just yet in Legend Series. They're going for this 8-split attack. And Nexus have 2 players over here. It's another defense again. They're definitely keeping the Germans guessing. And the Germans are the Germans of Kopfsacker. What you see at the top of your screen is a slight mistake, but don't get too much notice.
Nexus joined the wrong team, as you do. But either way, first kill coming in for the Germans now as the bomb is going to get planted. Imi, of course, will try and back in, but Heats will find him. This flank coming in from Jaxi, telegraphed by Roms, however. So a 4 versus 2 situation, and I think the call possibly being made to be safe. Okay, no, BTN is just repositioning. He's left on 22 HP with a Bogdan Law. Not that it really matters when you're on low HP with that AWP, of course. Post-plant positions here from the T side are pretty sound, however. BTN now in the 1 versus 3 situation. 22 HP. The bomb is so far gone at this point. He's got to get on it if he wants to take this round, but of course Heats will find him, and it'll be a 3rd round on the board. So again, in a similar situation as they were in the first half on Cash, if they can find the 5 rounds, they definitely have a chance going into the second half here. But something to consider is, of course, we talk about Heats and how effective he's been. And a solo player can carry on the T side, but going into the CT side, you really do need everybody else to be pulling their weight, because it's very difficult to retake 1 versus 4 every single round. So a good T side perhaps for Kopfsacker if they can get the 5, but CT side looks very dangerous indeed.
Oh, okay. Zello getting a bit trigger happy there. Nexus communication might not be as on point as we initially expected or suspected, as I am here lurking towards Palace. And remember, a good thing about this Legend point system is a game is never over. If you make the games closer, you're limiting your damage. Kopfsacker needs to take as many rounds as they can here if they want to limit the damage of this series, and Stipe wants to do that in a 1 versus 2. He's got the AK-47, it's Molotovs, to the headshot! What a beautiful one at that! Gave himself a chance and got us all pumped up, but got shut down. And wow, that was such a quick shot. I wasn't expecting that. He almost blew my brains out.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the flair on this German side, don't get me wrong, but it's a question of that coordination of turning those kills not just into pointless consolidation kills like that one, but into actual impactful frags, and making a play off of the back of getting those kills. You know, it seems when they're able to play a bit looser, a bit riskier, because they feel like they're not going to win the round anyway. The 1 through the smoke, that's got to hurt. That's got to hurt indeed.
So you have to say, the 1.
Indeed.
It's a last-ditch attempt onto the A site. It's Kopsaka trying to get that bomb down. It's a mad spray in the M4, but they've just got too many bullets. Players everywhere. 12-3, and it's cash all over again. A couple of glimpses of hope from Kopsaka, but you can see good halves in chat. Heats. That very well played might seem, I don't know, sarcastic, but a tale of woe, should we say. I feel like he feels like it's over.
Yeah, I think obviously they're not just going to give up completely, but mentally kind of checking out of this game. Not going to sort of strain themselves trying to win this one. As you can see from the T side, straight up B rush coming in. Playing passively on the CT side, going to allow them to jump straight out and take these close range fights, so it could definitely be risky. Stepper, however, does get 3 quick kills from bench. Traded back eventually, so B control for that T side now secured. Zello getting aggressive as well. Finds himself a second for the round. Bomb just gone down. Zello is running rampant right now. Left on Fabdel, who I believe has not got many kills at all. That'll be his 4th kill of the round. In fact, now into the one-on-one with BTN. He's making a lot of noise. BTN is right next
is he
to
got
him.
A knife?
Just going to walk out.
Oh, what's happening? Peekaboo! BTN finds it. Surprise! That was a party popper.
Yeah, for sure. That's
he's getting out all the party equipment. He's getting out the balloons.
It needs.
What do you call it? What is that thing? The noise that I made. You blow into it and it.
Like
I was going to say you blow into it and it gets bigger, but that could be a couple of things.
Wait.
Wait.
But no, what that needed was the sound from Metal Gear. You know, where the guards like spot you. And it's like the buzz.
I've not played that.
Oh.
Where have I
You'll
been?
know the sound.
I didn't have a childhood.
It's
Am I
used
too young?
in a lot of like videos and stuff. No, I'm like 19 as well. I mean.
Oh really? Oh,
it's just
okay.
Yeah.
You
it's
just
like
can grow facial hair. You haven't got my boyish, my childlike boyish face, otherwise known as Spicius. Robs gets found out as Kopsaka resort to hiding, it seems.
Yeah, I think this one's gone. Perhaps you seem to be a little bit closer with your score. I believe Kopsaka will at least secure another 4 rounds. I believe. I am not.
Do you want to put money on it? I'll put money. I'll put any money on it. I'll take out a loan to put money on it.
Oh god. Rush coming in to B now. Jaxie and Imi will easily clean up. Wittekind will take down Imi on the other side of the map, I believe. The bomb, however, is in B apps, but they don't seem to care because they're just sort of rushing straight through here. Heats will go down, and now it's all on Wittekind with nothing but a Galil and a Dream. I mean, if you can get into B apps and spot the bomb out here, there's a chance. Ooh. I mean, not quite able to find BTN as of yet. BTN will actually take him down. That is heartbreaking. He was on 35 HP after that first initial fight. Still manages to find the kill. So 16-3, definitely on the cards here. But Kopsaka now have got the rifles in hand, so definitely a chance to at least secure 4 more rounds for me, please.
4 more to go. They'll have to double their scoreline and more. Heat sent towards mid, and that's a good start. A headshot onto Zello as he charges onto mid, and it's the cannon once again. And quite a cannon it is for Heats as he's lurking in connector. Got to hit another shot here, but it's going to be the headshot for Nexus instead as Roms does line 2 up. BTN towards mid. He goes down. Kopsaka might stay for a couple more and just trying to cling on to a couple of points. And remember, it is points at the end of the day. If Kopsaka can get to a couple more rounds, they can limit a bit of the damage done on this map.
Yeah, which I think is kind of the interesting thing about the system used at the Legend series. You know, it keeps players in the game the whole time, you know, and keeps them kind of trying to force the issue. And even if they're not going to win the game, still keep it competitive and pick up a few more rounds because it is so important. You know, maybe they win a game next week or when they next play, and the few rounds that they secure here help them to move up the scoreboard there. Not looking so hot at the moment though, as Fabdel does chime in to pick up 2, but will get traded back. It's a 3-on-1 situation now for his teammate Stetter. The bomb yet again has been led towards T-Spawn. He will take down Imi, cost him about 50% of his HP, however, and he's been spotted out by the one. Not going to be able to find it, so it will be a 16-4 scoreline. It would seem you are the winner of the prediction game, but ultimately it will be Nexus who's the winner of the overall game.
I'm the winner. I get all the legend points. Oh, wow. What a series. Kopsaka to fail to perform in 2 maps over Cash Mirage and go 0-2 in our Legend series. So let's wrap up what we've seen earlier this week for our play day. Obviously, today's games, Nexus versus Kopsaka, was very, very one-sided. And then you had playing Ducks versus Masse. That was quite a one-sided affair as well, with Masse taking both maps quite convincingly. If we have a look at what's coming next week, though, Tuesday, 7 CET, you've got to be there for QB Fire versus Venatores, both playing their first games on the main stage. Of course, a newly revamped Venatores, a newly renamed Venatores. Next Tuesday, 7 o'clock CET. Back every Tuesday, every Thursday, every 7 o'clock. And Team Spirit versus Tricked, ending that day as well. It's 2 best of 2s a day, every day. So make sure you're there for that. It only leaves me enough time to say thank you so much for joining me. And thanks, Scriv, for joining me on the desk.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. You know, not the closest games in the world, unfortunately, this evening, but it's been great fun being here and a pleasure to cast alongside you.
You'll have to come back for some closer ones.
Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe I will.
Maybe he will. And I don't want anybody out there at home to miss it, so put it on your calendar next Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Follow us on all the socials as well, because we'll be back with the with all the action as well. You can we're constantly putting out updates. We're going to throw a couple of replays at you before we go home, but see you next Tuesday.